It's probably gonna take a long time, man. Guilty, not guilty. They've been deliberating for over half hour, bruh. If I was Shannon the Yak, I'd be zoned out like, bruh. It's taking y'all a half hour to just say not guilty. Cause that's what the fuck I'd be saying. I'd be not guilty. It is not that hard. Then it'd be crazy. As dirty as Fulton County is, as dirty as Fulton County then showed themselves to be, what's taking them so long to come back with the not guilty verdict? It don't make no sense. I'd be shaking them timbers. I'd be shaking them me timbers. But let me see. Let me see if what's that one little dude name? Damn it. Oh damn. Did I stop sharing it? Yep, I think I did. I'm gonna share that until I find this other little video I'm thinking of. All right, so it look like Cuff Boy. Cuff Boy be having some good videos, so I'm a we can watch his video until this shit pop up. So let me share. Let me share this. All right, we gonna share. I'm pretty sure y'all know what that is. This shit is an hour long. His videos usually be shorter. We just gonna review this little video because he be breaking it down a little bit more simpler than all these other dudes. He be getting like straight to the point. I'm looking for my laptop charger, and I'm like, his shit is an hour long. So I'm like, fuck, I ain't never seen one of his videos a hour. That's crazy. But he be doing some good ass reviews. So let's see what he had to say. I usually agree with shit he be saying too, because he be making some funny ass fucked up faces. Cause it be like, damn, can't believe I did this shit. Let's see what Cuffboy talking about. Let's see what he talking about. While we waiting on this verdict. Fair use to YouTube. Fair use.
Donut hole, nothing burger. Man, it's never going to fit because it's not the truth. That there's reasonable doubt all over the place, and you will find Mr. Stillwell not guilty. Video from the surrounding area.
And I'm gonna keep it out with 100. It's hella reasonable doubt to me because I cannot sit here and clear cut say, oh yeah, I'm 100 because they have no evidence that they got all these theories, but they really ain't got no evidence that I didn't seen. They got some phone calls and a lot of other little knickknacks, but it ain't really no concrete evidence to me. So I don't know.
Area that shows him transferring into the infinity? No. I mean, presumably he teleports into the infinity. I have no idea. No weapons tying Mr. Kendrick to it. No ballistics. No fingerprints. No gunpowder residue. No DNA. Nothing. Nothing that you would expect to see. The state is all in red today. Are they a gang because they're all dressed in red?
And we are not targeting people of color. We are targeting gang members who decided to wreak havoc.
Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. First of all, shout out to Cam for capturing that part right there because I definitely want to speak on it. These niggas that's on trial, basically the whole YSL, whatever you want to label them as, was trying to be like, oh, these is black people doing this to us. But it's like, bro, on the flip side of that, y'all being accused of killing black people. So please don't try to black people. Like, you cannot pull the black people race card in this because we are literally investigating y'all for the murders of other black people. So I be hating when motherfuckers do that. I'm glad he caught that part in this shit. Which this shit probably about to be funny. This shit's an hour and 58 minutes long. Jesus.
Tell them that he saw Donovan, maybe we wouldn't be here today on a murder charge.
She's saying Kendrick's the one that alerts them of Donovan's location out front of the barbershop?
He's the one who alerted them.
Why is she yelling? What's going on? Today in the YSL RICO
I
trial,
ain't
both
never
the
heard
state
that
and
shit
defense
either.
had closing arguments. Both sides pretty much go through this entire case today. It's a very long. Doug Weinstein calls the state a gang because they're all wearing red. I just got my wisdom
Hold on,
teeth out
wait.
3 days ago,
Hold
so I
on,
can
wait.
barely talk.
Hold on,
But
wait. And let's also speak on that. Why is the whole prosecution wearing red? If y'all looked at the let me if y'all gonna see it in this video, but Miss Hilton, Miss Love, and another lady, like another two ladies that's in the courthouse, they all wearing red. Like who the fuck y'all think y'all is? Suge Knight or something? Are y'all trying to intimidate the goddamn court? That is crazy that they all got on red today. Like, what are y'all out for blood or something? Like, are they gang members? I don't know. This was crazy.
But I tried my best. Hit subscribe. I appreciate the support. It's been a crazy ride.
All right, and look here, y'all. Dude right here got like 2 million something fucking subscribers. Can y'all fucking subscribe to dude and just hit the goddamn like button? Because every time he show like the analytics, most of the people who watching his shit, and I think I'm subscribed to him. I don't know when. I probably subscribe to Cutboy Cuff. It's the Cuff. It's Cuff, not Cuff. I think I subscribed to dude. He popped up on my YouTube doing the Melly shit. The only reason I know who this guy is because he was covering the YNW Melly shit. And he was doing I ain't gonna lie, he always doing a good job. Like, this must have been a long ass video, or he couldn't, because YouTube editor or whatever you're using, some shit don't be letting you cut shit out the video, or cut some editors don't let you cut everything you're trying to cut, so you have a long ass video. But like and subscribe to dude shit, because his editing he really be doing on his edit shit and post these videos up here for motherfuckers. So like and comment on his shit, because he say this shit like every video, and it's hella motherfuckers who watching dude shit that ain't subscribed. I be looking at the same thing on my shit. It be mad motherfuckers watching my shit who ain't subscribed. So subscribe to dude shit.
I think deliberations
Tough
start
boy.
late tomorrow on Tuesday, but I'm not sure. All right, there's
This
the
be done
judge.
today.
She doesn't look like she's in a good mood, honestly. Yeah, God, he got the white vest on. Okay. The state is matching in red. Why would they do that? Isn't red associated with like a negative part of your brain? Oh my God, he has a red tie on. Why would they do that? Doug put the green tie on today.
This is working. We need you next door. Yes, it's working. I can't see it, so. Okay. Well, that one's nowhere near as critical as the one that the jury is going to see.
Of course, on the last day, there's technical difficulties.
HoneyBook keeps your proposals, contracts, invoices, and payments all in one place. My name is Laura Gomez, and I've partnered with over 100
my fault.
brands. So trust me.
I need to definitely
All
be
right, the jury's
sticking
about to
that.
come in for closing arguments. This is intense.
Does the defense have evidence to present on behalf of Mr. Stillwell?
Your Honor, we do not wish to present the
Understood. All right. And Ms. Weinstein, does the defense wish
And I think he got this shit kind of sped up, so cool.
to present evidence on
It's
behalf of
been hella
Mr. Kendrick?
long.
No, Your Honor, we do not feel that's necessary.
All right. Thank you very much.
That was worded strategically there.
The next step in this case is the closing arguments, because the state has the burden of proof in this case. The state will make an initial closing argument. The defense will then have an opportunity to present any closing argument that they wish to present. And the defense, if the defense does present closing, then the state will then have a final opportunity at summation.
Oh no, it's Adkins? No way.
I wanted to talk to you about what we've learned YSL is about. In 4 words.
Ain't no dude talking.
First word, deception, intimidation,
Hate it.
destruction,
Hate it.
deception,
Hush.
youth,
Hush.
get enamored with what is presented publicly, and then deceived when they become a part of the criminal enterprise. Deception for law enforcement to not uncover the actions that they commit,
Why is his mic not working?
overt, out in the open, or subtle, that if we do a crime to you or you know about it, don't say anything. The destruction has multiple parts. You've heard from multiple communities all throughout Fulton County that often similar pockets in the city have been affected, from dealing drugs, the robberies, the shootings, the shell casings, the windows, the doors, the refrigerators, the cars, over and over. That has to be destruction. You've heard about 3 murders: Donovan Thomas, Chanel Drinks, and Jamari Holmes. That is what YSL, the criminal enterprise, is about. Now, I'm going to talk to you about Count 1 RICO and Criminal Street Gang. And so when I am complete, at the end, Ms. Hilton will come up and talk to you about the murder of Donovan Thomas and the murder of Chanel Drinks and the remaining counts. Murder gang in my slime is above the law. But in Fulton County, nobody is above the law. And that's why you're here.
I want to know where the fuck is they getting that murder gang above the law shit? Did they hear one of them saying that shit, or are they just making that shit up? I don't fucking know. I do not know. I know y'all like what that is. I smoke papers and I'm rolling up a paper. Most of this shit they just making up. I ain't never heard that YSL above the law. Fucking, I ain't never heard that shit. Not even in the song.
I don't know why I said we dead in pill. Murder gang. Yeah.
Those are their own words, murder gang. What they are publicly stating that the enterprise and the street gangs, and I may use both of those terms interchangeably, they are about. And lastly, after publicly bragging and boasting about murders, what is their viewpoint on being held accountable? Well, let me take their own words, don't just take mine. That's saying my slimes are above the law. So now I'm going to equip you with the duty as jurors so that you can learn about the law that the judge will instruct you on.
I feel like Atkins wasn't the guy to do this, right? But this is kind of not going well so far.
It's to honestly seek the truth. You've heard evidence, testimony, physical evidence.
Is this not going well so far? I don't know what side it ain't going well for at the moment, but I don't know. I don't like this dude that's talking for the prosecution, though. I ain't never liked it. Every time I see him, he kind of pissed me off.
It's not to seek out, it's to seek the truth.
Jury's duty, be a fair and impartial juror, honestly seeking the truth. Okay. All right, state of Georgia. Are they really not going to fix the mic? Like, this is going to piss me off. It's so quiet.
Just FYI, the whole time dude talked, I do not think he was on the microphone. So, Cuff Boy, you in for a long video that's going to piss you off.
I'm going to have to edit the audio so much today, man. Jurors cannot consider passion, public opinion, unhappy with
the police. But this all the shit they say you can't consider, but all of this is something that's always considered. You could tell the jury whatever you want, but they regular people like me and you. So I'm public opinion gonna matter. Unhappy with the police. This is the main thing that's gonna happen with me. They did a piss poor investigation on these guys. So I bet a lot of these jurors are unhappy with the police. That's number one. They're unhappy with the police. Period. And they might disagree with the law, and they might have some sympathy for the defense. See, then it's crazy. You can't have sympathy for somebody as a juror. You just got to be cold-hearted animal. This right here why a lot of people in jail. Because as far when you come into court, they don't judge you with no sympathy or empathy for what you did. Like it just be crazy as hell.
Police, public meeting, sentiment, prejudice, penalty and punishment, conjecture, disagree with law, sympathy for defendant.
How long do all the sacrifices you made? And what I thought about, because we initially came on, it was 6 to 9 months, and now we're here 12 months later, and that's a significant difference. And there's one time in my life that came to mind about this. I couldn't do this again today, but I ran one marathon. When I got there that day, I was supposed to do a half marathon, which was many years ago. And when I'm in line with one of my best friends who encouraged me to run, I see people much older than me. I won't call them old, but they may have been pushing 90, marathon. And so he gave me that look, and I said, all right, I'll do marathon with you. And during that, expecting me to run a half, that day run the full, I had moments where I wanted to quit. I had moments I wanted to walk. I had moments where I wasn't ready, I wasn't prepared, I didn't sign up for this. Technically, I agreed to do marathon.
Hold on, let me read that. Get the jurors to believe you / has sympathy for. I'm pretty sure the jurors already got sympathy. I got sympathy for them because they got investigated by a group of dumbasses. They really ain't got no evidence that I did shit, so they already gonna have sympathy for them off rip because these cops is dumb as hell. And I'm pretty sure they stole Young Thug watch. I'm pretty sure they stole his shit. I'm pretty sure they stole that nigga jewelry. I'm pretty sure that's why I say not guilty, because I don't like when the police be trying to make it seem like they so self-righteous, but they be breaking laws and just violating you at the same time that they trying to lock you up for breaking the law. They breaking the law. Like I don't be on that shit.
And as I got to the end, like we are here, I said, if I walk off on mile 21 or 20, all of this will be for nothing. And I will regret that. So with this time, I ask you to see it through, finish strong. And by that, I mean, listen to the closing arguments and deliberate with one another in the evidence. Because you owe it to yourself, you owe it to the victims, and you owe it to your duty as jurors. Like I said, you consider the evidence, the testimony, don't consider what is outside. This burden of proof rests with it until we prove each and every element beyond a reasonable doubt.
And damn, what is no burden of proof? I ain't heard shit proof. Out the window.
Certainly, there's no.
Bro, what is this PowerPoint, bro? Presumption of innocence. Why is there literally a cloak?
I use a cloak, right, where you're presumed innocent. Everyone is. Until the state has proven your guilt of whatever crime, in this case, RICO, murder, street gang, beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the dollar bill, right? If you have pieces of the puzzle, and some of y'all may like puzzles that are removed, everyone knows that that's a $1 bill. There's no reasonable doubt that that is a $1 bill, even though almost 50% of it is not. That's just a visual illustration to prove the point. So direct evidence, physical items, it's what.
Yeah, direct evidence is evidence that points to immediate. I can't read the rest of that part, but even with him putting all this shit on the screen, they haven't proved any of this.
What's said is witness talking for you, personal observations, that's all direct. Circumstantial evidence can be cell phone records, where people are within a general radius. Ankle monitor data, what someone's actions afterwards, who's calling who, who's texting who. That can circumstantially prove and lead to a conclusion. Whereas, and you can use both. The law doesn't weigh direct or circumstantial more or less than the other. And then in trial, you're going to use both.
So, nigga, a lot of their mama, a lot of their kids, a lot of their brothers and sisters, they didn't get ready in the courtroom until the God is true. Don't get it. Y'all need to get fucking killed, bro.
And I ain't gonna lie, bro. His ass better took a plea deal because they got videos of a young thug saying shit that don't look too motherfucking good. He damn sure wasn't taking shit to trial. Your ass better have took a plea deal because the shit they got you saying out your mouth, oh yeah, he guilty.
Me and why I said,
What is this PowerPoint, bro? Look at the way they put these pictures up. This looks like something I made in 4th grade.
That's what's said outside of the courtroom. These are all witnesses who testified that were either co-conspirators or indicted on this case. And ask yourself, you could know it just as well as I. Right before the state would ask is why sell the game. The words music group, you know it's about to come off. I've never heard of that. I said game, G-A-M-E. I didn't say G-A-M-G, even though you just heard them say game. Think about that and why people would come in here and think about what they said. I mean, we have exactly said that these two defendants confessed to him to murder Donovan Thomas the night of the murder. You don't think he's going to come in here and back up off that? Bragging or boasting about the murder. We put that on the tombstone. The things he knows when he's sitting up here don't sound good in a trial with his friends, fellow gang members, and co-conspirators. So he's going to back up off.
So now he's shitting on the credibility of his own witnesses?
When he did plea agreement, said that he had knowledge that someone was involved with the murder of Donovan Thomas, but then backs up off of it, right? He gives why. Think about why. And think about, they know the feelings that these defendants have about people who come in and tell them. And on his chest, the price of loyalty is wealth. The price of disloyalty is death. So these witnesses who say incriminating things about them in a police station or outside of court, when they come in here and are sitting in a witness box 10 feet from them, how do you think they know this? That's these defendants' own words about people who come in and testify against themselves. Right? That's their feelings on it. Things that these witnesses know very well.
Starting today, anyone can monetize with ads. As part of the all.
Oh, I'm skipping that. I'm playing ads in the videos. My fault.
This is Kenneth Copeland outside of the criminal court.
Last words and shout outs before we get you out of here.
Shout out to the game.
Don't even get me started on him. I feel like the people that they trying to accuse Yak and the other dude of killing, I'm kind of feeling like this one of the killers. I kind of feel like they gave the real killers of these guys plea deals. Y'all let the real killers go. Then Thug, he took a plea deal. These two ain't take a plea deal, which I ain't gonna lie. I see them walking. For them niggas not to take no plea deal, because that's just confidence right there that what y'all did Yak and SB probably do something? Yeah, but what they accusing them of, I don't feel like they did it. That's why them niggas ain't taking no plea deals. Thug ass, he got nutty. He had to take a plea deal. He started getting nutty.
Hey, why self life? You know what I mean?
Why self life?
Oh yeah, he most definitely is. It ain't even that we got to talk about. See, Woody is a special kind of snitch too. Woody, the type of nigga that'll kill you and tell on you. But the number one thing I don't like about Woody was, bro, his whole reason on telling any information because he was scared to go to Rice Street. He ain't want to go to jail. Which he'd be like, these niggas be gangster, killer until it's time to go to jail. Then that was his whole big thing. He was scared to go to jail. So he was going to tell them people whatever he needed to tell them for him not to go to Rice Street, which that was some lame ass shit, bro. What you was getting caught for ain't had nothing to do with these guys. You just start saying these guys' names so you can get a good deal or get out of your little situation, which was crazy. I find it crazy. All these so-called street niggas and gangsters and thugs, when it's time to go to jail, don't nobody want to go to jail. But that's a part of the game. That's what come with this shit.
For almost the vast majority of his life, did not want to say something because of his bias and motive.
Snitches is the new thing right now.
When you hear what people say,
is popular.
which is expected or what they say.
All that no snitches,
so all of
that's over for that.
That pattern of that. So in this case, what Copeland and Zachary say about
I hate
Kendrick,
I
is he's
his
driving
PowerPoint
at Infinity
presentation.
He's driving at Infinity
Just
250 while Shannon Stillwell, Demise McClellan are shooting 7.62 and 9mm shell casings into the body of Don Thomas with Justin Kyle Duwop. That's 42 rounds. That's an example of this case. And it will come up in some of the overlaps that we're going to talk about. It sounds like, Your Honor, this microphone may have. Yes, Your Honor. If you let me know
that
that helps
microphone
fix that.
bullshit.
I got to fix this belt buckle here real quick.
Dude, Atkins seems like a nice guy, but he's such a dork. They finally fixed the mic. Let's go.
Kendrick has this count 57 participation in criminal street gang activity.
All right, guys, listen up. Atkins needs to get his confidence and hair back with hims.com/cuff. When men leave the house, we look for our wallet, phone, and
We gonna pause. We gonna skip over that part. I don't mind playing Cuff Boys video, but I ain't trying to play all the others.
About RICO, which is count 1, which both are charged with. The general concept is they're charged with conspiracy to commit racketeering. So I'm going to have to explain to you what is RICO, what is conspiracy to commit RICO, and then you as jurors, with the evidence that's been presented, will reach the only reasonable conclusion that they're guilty of that count. But you need to know what RICO is first. And there's 2 ways to violate RICO.
his mic just turned off again. Remember, the state has burden of proof here, so they really have to hammer it
I've
home
been ain't
all
taking this
aspects
serious.
of every
I ain't
count and
take
charge and everything.
this case serious since
I
we
think we all can agree
started.
that should be an element that's easy to check. You've heard,
Looking
for
at the
example, all you have to do
prosecution,
is
I was like,
28
this shit
folks.
gotta be a fucking
You will
joke.
see in that indictment
These are the
that
type of people
states
that can put you
on
in
page
prison
and it
for the
also
rest of your
includes
life.
unnamed or unindicted coaches, if you find that they're part of the conspiracy. So keep that in mind when you go back and deliberate. But yes, one of the elements, beyond a reasonable doubt, is 2 or more.
Another thing about closing arguments, judges and juries don't like objections during closing arguments. So a lot of you are going to be thinking, why aren't they objecting? Defense lawyers are waiting to go up and point out the lie or however they're spinning it in their own closing argument and not object and interrupt them.
Yes, Your Honor.
This has been a sloppy mess so far, man. The state needs to present a clear timeline of each defendant, each co.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Where this energy with a president, man, I don't even get into the political bullshit. I don't like none of them motherfuckers. But one thing for sure, rich people don't go to jail. I'm starting to understand that. Rich people don't go to jail. Poor motherfuckers like you and me, regular motherfuckers, we go to jail. We keep the jails running. But rich motherfuckers, they don't go to jail, man. They pay a lawyer, or they pay the judge off, or they do a favor for the judge friend, exchange money, and them niggas get they go home on probation or some shit like that. That should be crazy.
Co-conspirator, like he's like all over the place.
What else can you use? Remember we talked about circumstantial evidence? Circumstantial evidence inferred from the nature of the acts done, relation of the parties, and the interest of the conspiracy. What do they have to gain? Is it for something to further the group's interest? How do you know someone agrees? Look at what they do. And I argue to you that the evidence has shown that they've all knowingly and willfully agreed. Take where we started, or take the 2 murders. Shannon Stillwell, January 10, 2015, murders Donovan Thomas. March 14, 2022, Shannon Stillwell, with 3 other YSL members in both times, murders Shamel Drinks. If you have to ask yourself, did he knowingly and willfully agree to be a part of YSL criminal enterprise with 2 gang murders? That's an easy question. That's the most clear example of if someone murders a rival gang member twice, I think it's pretty clear that they knowingly and willfully agreed, regardless if they signed on the dotted line.
But there's a shit ton of doubt for both of those murders that the juries have to decide with the evidence that they've been presented with.
The crimes and acts.
The same shit that got Big and Tupac killed. Little fuck, nigga. Pussy that nigga, no bitch ass. Hey, gang, you bring your pussy out, you gonna see me? I'm at your fucking neck.
Kendrick with YSL Pennant, and you have Shannon Stillwell, where someone in the background says YSL for life.
That was
That's
not
just
a
one
good
example.
video.
You've obviously seen and heard from multiple. But what do they say? What do they do? Are they publicly or actively or oftenly saying, yes, I'm a part of this YSL? There's an us and a them? Yes. Live in Lucci Flyer. This is from Marquavius Huey's phone, where him and Jeffrey Williams, they send the text message to Flyer of Lucci. In 6 text messages, this principle of agreement, you're going to see agreement in action. This text is about to come up, where all that's said, right? Jeffrey Williams says, where's that at? Claremont, slatty handle, stay very low, slat for sure, been out the way. They didn't say murder.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, it be text messages like this to where this shit is up in the air for debate, bro. This when it comes to this slang terminology, bro, this shit can mean anything. Where that's at, Claremont, slatty handle, stay very low. Like that can mean anything. That don't mean that he's saying, oh, go kill him. I mean, you can paint it like that's what he's saying. You can paint it like he's saying, oh, go do something to him, because it say slatty handle that. But bro, the defense can spin that one way, the prosecution spinning it one way. So these niggas need some better evidence. Like the shit they be having as evidence, it's rooms for speculation in that shit, because this can mean anything, bro. That can mean anything.
They didn't say stab, they didn't say shoot, but in 6 text messages, it's readily clear that they're talking
Yeah, I don't
about
like
enacting
that
violence on lives and
conspiracy
injuries.
shit.
That's agreement
That's,
one.
that's what pissed me off. A lot of these niggas, if Yak Gotti and them get found guilty of anything when the jury come back, it fuck around and be conspiracy. Because for some reason with conspiracy, you don't even really need no evidence to prove a conspiracy. You don't need no hardcore evidence. You just need, I this is what I believe they was gonna do. Boom, conspiracy. Like, nigga, what? Like, that conspiracy shit make it too hard for you not to actually do no police work and just lock a motherfucker up. Like, this shit, these laws be wild as hell, man.
Barely a screen of a text message. That principle shows you, and think about this example throughout. What do they say with one another? What do they do with one another? That's how you can know agreement. So at its core, the crime is the agreement. The overt acts let you know that it's real. So this is important. They're charged with conspiracy to violate RICO. So the agreement to violate RICO, that's the crime they're charged with. These overt acts that you've heard from, we're about to walk through.
And I ain't gonna lie to you. K Joseph, I'm feeling the same way. Like, I ain't want to say it, but it's something in me that just want to see Yak and Shannon go home, bro. Because if it was me, just seeing how these niggas ain't take no plea deal, bro, I don't think they did none of that shit. I don't think they killed nobody. That's why they like, I'm not playing out to nothing that I didn't do. Fuck it. If this has gonna go, this has gonna go. But jury been deliberating for an hour. It's an hour, 2 minutes, 21 seconds. The jury been deliberating. I don't believe this shit taking that long.
Those let you know that this isn't just fanciful. This isn't just in their minds. It's a real conspiracy. And in this case, and we're going to explain what RICO A and B is, they've actually committed the crime. So it's like you're asking you, did this group of individuals agree to conspire to commit all of these crimes, racketeering activity? The best evidence of that they did is they actually went and shot multiple people, murdered people, robbed for the street gang. That lets you know that there's not much to say when you actually do the crimes that you're alleged to have just conspired to commit. The conspiracy is alive and well in this court.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pause right there. And then most of us is from the hood, bro. The way they trying to paint these murders and killings as if they was doing it for the further into that, man, that was just shit that was happening in the hood, bro. That was just a hot summer, bro. This wasn't no, go kill him so they can be scared of us. We big bad gang. Like, no, that's some shit that just happened. And it's so, of course, when something happens, it's gonna happen between two people that don't like each other. So 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be between two different groups of motherfuckers. We don't like y'all, y'all don't like us. That's how shit happened in the hood. Everybody claims somebody, or everybody claim a street they grew up on, or everybody claim. That's like me. That's like motherfucker ask me where I'm from. I say Cincinnati. So now am I a gang member because I claim Cincinnati? Like, you know what I'm saying? That should just be weird as hell, bro. Like, that should be weird as hell. Well, hold on. My shit low and slow as fuck for the comments, but right, bro. Did you see my nigga? Did you see that little ass amount of drugs they found? Bro, man, let me keep it all the way a buck, bro. Man, these niggas, Yak Gotti and them, these are basic ass hood niggas that hang out in trap houses. Y'all all know what that look like, bro. We done all got out of high school and walked to the weed man house and went in this house. It ain't nothing but niggas in there, a couple little pistols to protect themselves, a couple little bags of weed. They sell a little bit of weed out of here. But, bro, these were some small-time niggas. They act like they was finding pounds of cocaine and pounds of weed. Like, bro, that the biggest bag of weed they showed in the evidence probably wasn't even a pound. That shit probably was a zip. Maybe 2 zips at the most. That bag of weed was a zip or 2 zips. Maybe it was a 4-way. Maybe it was a 4-way, goddammit. But that shit, bro, the amount of drugs they found, you absolutely right, bro. It was not that much fucking drugs for y'all to be like, oh, these niggas, bro, they was smoking that fucking weed they had and selling a little bit of that shit every now and then, bro. These some nickel, Shannon and Yak is some nickel and diamond ass little drug dealing ass niggas, bro. But they wasn't big time like that. This shit was about thug for real. Now these niggas trying to, they big time. Bro, that little ass amount of weed, y'all crazy as hell, bro.
Teething in this witness.
Crazy.
So this is just a visual explanation that you have.
Look at Bro face. He been getting me weak as hell.
And some, I didn't list all the photos of people you've seen. if they're going to shoot a rival and you find that, yeah, they did shoot that rival and they did it to help YSL the enterprise, if that act and you find that whoever you find is part of that conspiracy, it's like they're all one and one for all. So each co-conspirator is responsible for the acts of others that are naturally and necessarily done to further the enterprise. You heard from the officer where she walked with her child from 988 Confederate Court to that zone precinct to report crime. Obviously she came in here and did not want to acknowledge about the robbery, but I argue there's about to be a real bullet in her window that was taken by a crime scene tech who just responds to a scene. That is 988 Confederate Court, which comes up that address and area multiple times.
This is the robbery that, remember, she says, I think DK and Thug robbed her in 2013. On the stand, she said it never happened.
She told the officer at the time, her Kel-Tec, the money, her purse was stolen. Acquire and keep money. Walter Murphy, Jeffrey Williams, and she said someone that she didn't know, Jeffrey Williams' brother. That's multiple people doing it. That's one crime, one act. So when they work together, it's much easier to get property and items. Adrian being set here for what felt like an eternity and didn't remember entire years, but he flew over while driving a car over a 6-foot embankment. Why did he not remember any of that? Just think about that. I think the only thing he said is that memorable moment where he's like, keep it a buck, and he took his mask off. But he clearly would remember flying over a wall. Why are we not coming here and talk about it?
Yeah, but this will be killing me about these detectives. Bitch, of course I don't remember nothing. What the fuck? I got to go back to the same shitty ass neighborhood that these niggas live in, and you want me to be in here remembering shit. Boy, I'm not remembering nothing. These motherfucking detectives, they act like they know the street life, but they really don't. Y'all be in here asking people to talk, and y'all know snitches get killed, but y'all don't give a fuck about that part. See, that's why I be trying, like Woody and all them niggas that was snitching and talking to, bro. It is never worth talking to the police, bro. You fucked on either side because the police just doing their job. They just want the information out of you. They not finna protect your stupid ass. The police not finna protect your stupid ass. And then now you out there on the streets and the police ain't finna move you and your whole family. No, nigga, they gonna threaten you with jail time if you don't snitch. But they acting like they care about you. No, bro, it ain't. You might as well go to jail. Fuck snitching. Snitching, it ain't go. You can't snitch and go to jail. It ain't gonna work like that, bro. Bro, these motherfuckers be acting crazy. They act like they know the streets, but they don't really know the streets.
Now this, again, Walter Murphy, Jeffrey Williams, that's the location where Leonard Pass's car, which is that gray Dodge right there, is parked, Somerdale Apartments. Obviously, this is in the Cleveland Avenue area because often these crimes are committed in same locations, which will come
and I lived in
these are the
Atlanta
firearms
for
that they
like
recovered
2
from the
years, and
car.
I don't know where
Common after crimes, they go to the same location. That's important because these same victims, same accomplices, same pattern is important for RICO. So keep that in mind.
Are you older than 18? We're looking for motivated.
Oh, no. We gonna mute that. I'm not playing none of that. I'll skip it.
So why would you publicly have the gang on your face when you do a crime? Because a face tattoo could stand out. Because they want people to know.
And you got a point about that, man. Stop that face tattoo.
She doesn't know his name.
Think
about that. You have multiple people. And Walter Murphy, I don't know the date Walter Murphy got his face tattoo. No, Ebinger had it for this. But Walter Murphy has a YSL on his forehead, right? So think about that public display of allegiance to the criminal street gang and when you in enterprise.
See, that's something I'll point out is bullshit. Like the YSL face tattoo is him wanting his victims to know he's in YSL. And
Yeah,
it's
that
in
don't make no
furtherance
sense.
of the gang. That is not the reason why they have a YSL tattoo on their face.
Kendrick, Stillwell, this is demise.
You know what I'm saying, bro? See how he got some type of motherfucking common sense. Like even him, he can understand that nigga, that shit on me. He probably know more about the streets than whoever this Atkins guy is. Cause all these motherfuckers is fake experts at something, but and then let's talk about this picture. Young Thug rented the car. This shit happened, bro. The police really don't know. They just got a bunch of shit that they figured out that they just sticking on the goddamn screen and shit. Like it don't make no sense, bro.
Mullen. Now we'll talk about this in a minute. This is actually the photograph of when they shot Dexter Montgomery. Same case with D'Angelo White when they left that Jonesboro gas station in Lakewood and got to the four-way stop. That's the photograph of that. So you have NAR, but that's Demise McMullen, Shannon Stillwell, Kendrick. This is obviously the shooting. Overt act is did Jeffrey Williams rent the Infinity 250 and act in furtherance of the conspiracy? When you think about these overt acts, think how the criminal objectives. Ms. Hilton's going to talk to you and walk through bit by bit the murder itself of Donovan Thomas. But I argue to you, as she will too, that has been proven beyond a reasonable doubt, and that renting of the Infinity is an overt act that was used to facilitate the murder. And you've seen a pattern of rental cars being used.
There's also been evidence that rental cars are just handed out to anyone and everyone without Thug's knowledge. Jesus Christ, just showing all time.
Yeah, and that's the damn. Oh yeah, they did show like the autopsy photos. That shit caught me off guard. But it's like, bro, if you rent a car for somebody and they take it to go give it to another motherfucker and let them do what they need to do, I mean, how the fuck do they? How the fuck is that my fault? What the fuck?
Autopsy pictures, bro. What?
Looney Lee's comment, his comment, they're all talking about and kind of joking sheepishly about a murder of Donovan Thomas. It's we, it's us, it's criminal enterprise. We talked about Kendrick's tattoo, which is about to come up. I don't know when he got this tattoo, when the Zoom works with me and it comes up. I don't know if he had that tattoo of Slat on his arm while he's driving the Infiniti 250 past 330 McDaniel Street and Nard and Shannon shot and killed Donovan Thomas, but that same green Slat ends up on the gravestone. It's not a coincidence. And they're telling you that they did it and they just don't care because as you said when we started, slimes are above the law, but they didn't think about you. You hear it as clear as I hear it. I swear to God, nobody accused Dolly of murdering Donovan Thomas. Who's the we? And then you hear in the background, we smoke nut. And if you remember that call right before that, Woody saying, tell your brother I love him. And then you can hear Jeffrey Williams say, tell him I love him. Right there next to him. We killed nut. We
I remember hearing that.
Slat, and then just making a cheapest joke this years later. They're telling you we did it. They just don't
I
care.
remember them
And that Shannon
saying
Stillwell,
that
that same video, there's a live snake and a YSL chain. It's out in the open. Vita murder rap. This is Rodelius Ryan. This is Blaylock throwing up YSL, which is also an overt act. Public display of allegiance. It's going to come up in just a second. That's Jamari Holmes. He will shoot at your fitted cap. And there's a literal fitted cap from Jamari Holmes' head with a bullet hole in it. That's his skull with a bullet hole in it. This ain't murder gang isn't some facade. This isn't for clout. This is real life. And this is the bragging and the boasting above the law and proving that they're doing it for the street gang. They're telling you. I think it's amply clear that this murder is gang related. It's the further YSL. You've heard about the Nibin matches, the double homicide of Christian McMillan and Darius.
And I'm pretty sure y'all done heard the Shamil Drinks dude name. I don't think that they shot Shamil Drinks at that damn light either. I really don't think they shot dude, bro. Because where's the gunpowder residue and all this shit on the car? Like, on their hands, the gun. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Darius Ford, you heard op hunting all of the way that Garlington and Shannon talked about getting revenge. And what happens? They see an op at a gas station and 4 YSL members in a rented vehicle murdered. And Shannon Stillwell's involved in both. And it's eerily similar to Donovan Thomas' murder. This is a corridor right there, and that is Shamil Drink's vehicle with bullet holes on the same side of his car that Shannon Stillwell's Audi drove up in. It's not rocket science that he did it. The evidence has shown you he did.
It's not rocket
100% gang related.
He did.
They're both part of the same rival group. There's no evidence about any kind of disagreement or anything with Shamil Drinks. They did it for YSL. They did it to get revenge. And this is these public threats of violence when you're murdering people and throwing up YSL and bragging about it. That has a real effect of people who want to come in and testify or people that ever want to tell the police, period. These aren't just, a facade. This isn't just a movie. This is real life. And they're showing you and telling you what they're about.
Yeah, I
love shaking her head up and down.
And when they leave the gas station, Walter Murphy's evidence, Nard and Walter Murphy come. It's one YSL member, OG Bentley. Maybe he was paranoid. Maybe someone's out to get him. But it wasn't D'Angelo White. It was not Dexter Montgomery. And this is their car when it stopped after the shooting at that stoplight. Cornelius Davis and Christian James. And that's the bullet that comes in through that car. And that's Dexter Montgomery with half his head shot off because they followed a YSL member to a gas station. We have this post, which is Overt Act 121. I'm free, death before dishonor. Quite similar to the tattoo that Shannon Stillwell has, YSL. And what does he say about it? And by he, I mean Jimmy Winfrey. Get Amina to get the paperwork to put it in black and white because if not, it's going to look like street business. Because it is street business. They just don't want you to know. That's that deception piece. They don't want jurors to know. They don't want the police to know. So get it in paperwork so we can make it look legit. There's nothing legit about shooting a tour bus driver's car on the highway. This is the phone records. They move as a pack. They move as one. This is before where Zachary, Winfrey, Sledge, McMullen, Greer, and Dolly are all in the general area of the vault. This is when it's about to come up is the compound, which is a little bit later. Zachary, Winfrey, McMullen, Greer, and Dolly, 142 to 304. They all have kind of similar times when they leave, similar times when they depart. She's just in her bed trying to drink her a nightcap and just hang out.
Damn, bro. Another thing, bro. For y'all niggas that's out there committing crime and doing crime, y'all niggas quit taking y'all fucking cell phones with y'all niggas. That's number one thing that get y'all niggas up. Like y'all ain't never watched no type of TV, no type of nothing. Your cell phone is a fucking walking GPS device. That shit gonna put you wherever the shit happened at every time, bro. I don't understand this phone shit. Don't even get me started on the jail phone calls between these niggas. The jail phone call tell you before the phone call start that they recording that shit, and these niggas was still talking crazy on the goddamn phone. That shit ain't make no sense.
And what happens? They shoot at her because they think that her nephew or someone in YFN is there. That's not how it works in Fulton County. You don't just go shoot people's houses up because your ops there. When they post about guns, when they talk about guns, and then they tell you that they committed the crimes, it's not rocket science. You take them at their word, what the evidence has shown. These kind of retaliation is, again, Demikion's jumped. We got to protect them. It's a us, it's a we, it's an enterprise, right? And they act together because you have strength in numbers, protection and shootings. But this was a fist fight. It was a shooting in the parking lot. And then they go to other homes, travel intentionally down there and shoot. Again, they're moving together in concert. Did they think that was it reasonably foreseeable, understanding when they joined that multiple shootings would go on with YSL? You bet there is. You've seen it, right? They don't back up. They don't quit. They keep hanging out, shooting, and associating, and publicly bragging about YSL. And obviously in 2022, they're still trying to shoot and kill, shell, Kelvin Watts. You see how over time it's the same acts. That's conspiracy. It's just right before you. Now, objective 4. Remember how I said at the beginning, sometimes those stolen firearms or the robberies can play up multiple ways? This is a good example of it. Money, weapons, and other property through acts of racketeering activity. So those robberies and thefts, you could find them as they conspired to violate B, to participate in the enterprise.
Most of that
or
should
A,
be
they
everyday
conspired knowing they could acquire the property
shit
license.
that be happening.
Either one. The evidence can sometimes fit multiple. This agreement to be a part of the enterprise, a pattern, and they all flow together, right? So evidence, if they agreed, they go and shoot rivals together. We go and shoot.
Man, how many presentations do this Atkins dude got? He been pissing me out. That nigga got PowerPoint presentations. That nigga got a bunch of Kinko fucking presentations. He got a little pointer and shit. These niggas is a whole fucking clown show, man.
Shoot the same rivals with the same people together. Evidence for agreement, evidence for pattern. Does the YSL enterprise exist? Is it a loosely formed group of individuals for a same common criminal purpose? All of these three kind of feed together. So this triangle is just a visual way to help think through this.
And he got the screen up on
Bloody DK, and I got the strap on me, and he throws up Rock Crew at the time. And he's just shooting at 12 for no reason. Another attack on law enforcement. And again, you don't want to get caught. We'll say before.
Bro, this is Christian Evanger being a fucking idiot. Like running from the police, shooting a cop. He's a goddamn idiot. Like he's not.
I told y'all, bro, Cuff Boy be talking this shit. It is not smart to shoot no cop, bro. Your ass going to jail for life. Your ass going to jail forever. To shoot the police, nigga, for what? Your ass turned the misdemeanor into a motherfucking life sentence. That shit was dumb as hell, bro. All in the name of a gang, allegedly. These niggas be dumb as hell. Crash out babies.
This isn't in furtherance of YSL. It's not connected. He's
Right.
running from the police. He's a wanted man. Did
Yep.
they overlay
Got nothing to
music
do
on
with it.
top of this footage of him shooting the officer?
This is that killing 12 shit. And that's Christian Evanger in the Cleveland Avenue area shooting Officer Rogers. That's not just words. That's a mentality of, again, slimes are above the law. And it's a public message of that. I can't think.
Hate YouTube ads? You need this Chrome extension. I feel like
Nope.
A more clear, raw example of that than this. Don't just believe what they say, believe what they do. And he's just trying to arrest him. And what does Rodelius Ryan say after this happens? If you look at his TV screen, you're going to see Officer Rogers' photo pop up. And this is the message he has for his fellow YSL gang member after he just tried to attempt to murder Officer Rogers for doing his job.
That's in the hood. Free game.
That's in the hood.
Yeah, YSL shit.
YSL shit.
Yeah.
Just like the song said, YSL shit, going 12 shit. This is Ryan bragging and boasting about his fellow gang member trying to shoot Officer Rogers. And then he says slap, right? This shows you how they view how people are in the witness stand, right, is quite different. But you don't want to get caught. You don't want people to come in here and tell them. It's just
If y'all watch this dude right here, YSL Obama, he was scared as hell. He was shaking like a motherfucker, bro. He was drinking all the water they was putting up there for him. His ass was shaking like booty meat. That shit was funny as hell.
it's as clear as that. Miss Bennett, Antonio Sumlin, Quindarius Zachary, Walter Murphy, Kenneth Copeland, about to be Adrian Bean up here. The awkward pauses, the kind of contemplation of, man, what am I going to say here? Or some bad piece of wiretap or jail call that gets played that doesn't sound good. But the conspiracy is, did they knowingly and willfully conspire to join YSL knowing that that could be a possibility? I think it's ludicrous to say otherwise, right? They knew exactly what they signed up for when they tattooed YSL on their body and shot people for YSL. And it can be from anyone within 4 years of each other. They're not in it for the long haul. You don't tattoo your face if you're just in something for a couple weeks. It's a permanent thing. And you've seen evidence in present day and evidence in the past that's shown that allegiance. And that's where this agreement, pattern, and enterprise all play together. You have agreement for the enterprise. There's a pattern of racketeering activity, shootings, murders, robberies that feed and promote the enterprise. That's RICO conspiracy, or the spot on Oak Drive where you heard testimony about. This is after the murder of Donovan Thomas. This is both what Copeland and Zachary say they all went to get rid of the gun and to get rid of the car, because they don't want murder weapons to get caught with it, obviously. So the same individual who called Walter Murphy and Demise McMullen 3 months later when they pull up with a stick, you don't think that Demise McMullen killed Donovan Thomas with Shannon Stillwell, Kendrick driving, and Justin Cobb, and then would go to his friend OG Bentley? Of course he would. And where do they go? I mean, 755, 750.
Yeah,
this is McMullen and Williams.
What actual evidence do they have that Yak Gotti was driving that car? He doesn't. They don't have footage of him getting in the car. They have footage of him getting in a different car. They just say it happened behind the gas station. They have like no real hard evidence.
Commonplaces.
Not only that, bro, they ain't got no real hard evidence. That nigga made me forget what the fuck I was finna say. I remember that shit.
Stashes, or you've heard about the web. You've seen more recently Waters Road, and you used to hear reference about the dugout, but the web and Waters Road come up frequently. What were some similarities between them? There are places where they can store their guns and can frequently go where no one's going to catch them or bother them. We're back at the web. It's not Slug Spot. It's now My Spot. They exchange guns. They exchange locations to help the gang. It's quite simply that, right? They need a spot to be able to hang out and lay low. Instagram from Jeffrey Williams. I didn't like what you did for your mothers and kids. I would have been killed you. That's 2019. And then you have in 2020, coincidentally, Kendrick with Slat and a snake on him standing on the same Mr. Bennett's car, right?
This is These two pictures right here is I think like the worst evidence I done seen out of the whole trial. Some shit Young Thug said, and that picture of Yak Gotti standing on YFN Lucci car. This probably the worst evidence I've seen. Even though this Young Thug Instagram account, he probably could say somebody else wrote that shit. Like he don't control his Instagram or some shit. He probably could say that. You know, I don't know how it'll play out, but Yak Gotti standing on Lucci car. I don't even know what the fuck that got to do with anything. What the fuck do that got to do with anything that we on trial for? Like I don't know.
A clear sign of disrespect.
Standing on that man's car, disrespect.
Not only do they shoot at his mother's house, murder his friends, tweet at him, disrespect his car, then they try to stab him and actually do stab him in the jail, but they try to kill him is what I meant to say.
Also, keep in mind, it's 8 women and 4 men on the jury. 7 black women, 3 black men, 1 white man, and 1 white woman.
And that is
Hold on, wait. Not guilty. Not guilty. If anything, I could see the white people because I thought it was a bunch of white people. Boy, it sound like they damn near got a all black jury besides 1 or 2 white people. But they've been deliberating for an hour and 20 minutes at this moment. So they could be in there arguing with each other, bro. They could be in there arguing with each
the
other.
projectile from that murdered Jamel Drinks and the projectile that murdered Donovan Thomas. Same victims, right? You had Donovan Thomas with Lucci, and you saw how they treated Lucci. Now Donovan Thomas with Kelvin Watts, and you saw the connection. Similar victims over time with different YSL co-conspirators committing the crimes, often together. Not always the same, but similar patterns, which is important for RICO. It has to have, what is an enterprise, right? In this case, it's the criminal street gang. It's got to have a common purpose. It has to have a common kind of ongoing nature. It doesn't have to be a formal like employee roster or something like that. It can be a loose or informal relationship amongst them. It's as simple as that. You've seen how the way that YSL, the common identifiers and the way that they act and speak in concert shows that they have, I would argue, more than a loose relationship with one another. And determine that you can use the pattern to prove the enterprise. This is where the crimes themselves and how they're committed kind of help you. Is there an enterprise? Well, the way that they work in concert shows you that there is. So you see this connection and support where when one goes in jail and someone tries to jump Farley, the gang gets protection. And they may use an ally gang.
So they have a slide up that says RICO ? And they're just showing posts and association.
Lucci is trying to hurt Miles Farley. So there's connections between the acts. There's patterns in the interactions amongst each other. And if you take it a step further, then you have Winnie Lee with Shannon.
Hold on, let me get on that right now. I tell you my shit low enough. Bro, if only the state try hard to find who really killed Donovan or put resources on the murder case like they do to Young Thug. That's what bro, I feel like they know who killed Donovan. I think this is the thing about it is I can't even say I think, I remember. It was witnesses out there the day Donovan Thomas got killed. It was a drive-by, bro, and for them to have only shot Donovan, whoever shot had some crazy aim because Donovan was standing around like a group of other niggas. Like it was a group of other motherfuckers. Like he was laughing and joking with some guys out in front of the barbershop. They drove past a car hanging out the window. But I swear, one of the witnesses that was on the scene, because they shot back at them and shit, it was a shootout. Like they got shot at. Donovan Thomas got hit, ran behind the car and collapsed, and then all the guys that was out there, some of them shot back, but one of them niggas came to court, and I'm pretty sure he identified Woody, because he said one of them had a bald head. He was hanging out the window. So I'm like, bro, that's Woody. I'm pretty sure Woody is the one who had the original problem with Nut, stemming from the club situation and stealing Nut shit out of his car. So Woody is the one who really had the problem with dude the whole time. The niggas who killed Donovan Nut Thomas was Woody and whoever was in the passenger seat and driving, but Woody definitely got told on. One of the dudes said it was him hanging out the window, shooting the damn gun. They cut a plea deal with the people who the Jamel Drinks and Donovan Thomas, bro, they cut plea deals with their killers. They killers is walking free. The state of Fulton County know that shit. I mean, I ain't mean to say that. Fulton County know that shit, bro. They cut plea deals with the real killers of these dudes, bro. They know they cut plea deals with them. Them dudes walking free. And Woody is one of them. out here doing interviews and shit.
You heard about No Slime Left Behind?
Here come a note. Look, I stopped that quick. I'm getting good at it. I ain't gonna play on my shit.
With Kendrick, actively promoting the gang. Yes, it may just be a photo, but when people think you murdered people, shot people, and got away with it, it has a different context to that. Are they a part of that street gang? They commit criminal street gang activity. For purposes of this indictment, the judge will instruct you that the street gang charges, the firearm possessed during the drugs for Kendrick, and the murder of Shamel Drinks for Shannon Stillwell, both murder and possession of firearm during commission of a felony, which is the drugs, are criminal street gang activity. So all you really have to decide, in my mind, is there a nexus to the street gang?
So having
B is in order to maintain or increase status. So you'll see Shannon Stillwell have B. When he murdered Shamel Drinks, do you think that was in order to boost his YSL street cred and increase his status?
Bro, then y'all keep that. That's another thing that pissed me off about this Atkins dude. Like how he just looked at the jury and said, when he murdered Shamel Drinks, what the fuck do you mean? You haven't proven that he did that. So how the fuck could you get on here in front of this jury and be like, when he killed him? You ain't even got no evidence that he, like, oh my God, bro. It couldn't be me. I'd have stood up in the court as if I had an objection, Your Honor. I'd have been mad as hell. He loved to say that shit too.
Of course it was. He had no personal disagreement with Shamel Drinks. The only reason to murder him is because you saw all this public posting about get back, revenge, and he had that tweet I had earlier up the score. When Shannon Stillwell committed that murder, it was to further the street gang. There's no other reason that makes any sense. And it would certainly boost his common signs, symbols, and tattoos. I only have a snippet. This is very similar to the first witness belt nap, right? Y'all have heard ample evidence of all these identifiers. You've heard about Slat, Slime, the lizard, the snake, the green, Copeland with the hand sign. Y'all are basically gang experts at this point, probably yourselves, because you've heard a lot about it. But it's important to show you the evidence over time. Tattoos, I've talked a lot about these. I think it's important to, these permanent YSL lifestyle. This is Trontavious Stevens. That's Antonio Sumlin. That's Antonio Sumlin. That's the Diamante Kendrick. Slime Life, YSL. And then you have face tattoos, Javon Fleetwood. Then you have Walter Murphy's going to come up and Christian Eppinger. Public YSL tattoos on their face. Essentially a walking billboard for the enterprise. Over and over and over, they show you we have guns, we use guns. We're not afraid to use it. Believe them. The evidence is showing it. Gang detectives, I'm not going to go through everything.
And the KKK
you heard a lot, right? And what they talked about was not fantasy. Gaither and Dennis, when they talked about getting woken up in the middle of the night with all those 2015, they interviewed Walter Murphy. They interviewed Kadir Zaki. They interviewed Copeland. All of that stuff they did repeatedly. And Detective Belknap discussed the origins of Rock Crew, how it became YSL. He also mentioned how YSL, the street gang he started hearing about in schools before the record label was formed, and the rival between YSL and Inglewood family. I just simple 2 words, or I guess it's 3. 2015 first wave. This is waves of violence.
See, this is what I've been waiting for, is more concise, easier to understand. Waves of violence.
Right, that's right.
Detective Dennis and
Gaither. She told you about all these back and forth shootings in 2019.
I ain't gonna lie.
And she talked about
we've been watching this shit for 27 minutes, y'all. Out of the 27 minutes of shit that Prosecutor Atkins just said, I ain't understand none of that shit, bro. It was all over the place. So I know the jury sitting there like, I don't know what the fuck going on. But this might get better because it looked a little bit more presentable.
About what was going on in just 1 month, March of 2022. And all of these social media, she was clipping by, it seemed like almost an hour, to show this public disrespect. Same group, same victims, same rivalry in YSL and YFN. Nothing has changed except time. That's how you know it's a criminal enterprise actively
going on
afloat. Every slime plays nasty. What does Winnie Lee say about that?
Hour and a half.
Yeah, they can argue that they're just trying to watch the local basketball game on the nightly news.
The ESPN got blowing because we're blowing it down.
He's got a gun. It says ESPN because we're blowing people down. I mean, I don't know what else to say. This is Kendrick's tattoo. You're going to see, this is Miles Farley, ESPN tattooed on the back of his neck. This is going to be Christian Eppinger coming up here. Rise and Slime, ESPN. And I didn't clip it in there, but there's the song that Shannon Stillwell himself made where he literally says every slime plays nasty. So these are common phrases, identifiers, and by nasty, they mean violence.
It's almost like they know that their only chance at a guilty verdict is the RICO count, because I don't think they're going to get a guilty verdict for the murders.
I'm the DEO of this.
And I just said that shit simple. The only thing that Shannon and Yak finna get found guilty of is the RICO bullshit, because it's bullshit, bruh. I do not like the RICO law because it requires you to not have no evidence, just your own personal feelings could send somebody to, because that's how this is what we perceive this to be, not what it actually is. That's why it was so easy for their ass to lock up the mobsters using these same RICO. This RICO law shit, y'all, was for the mob. They ain't even supposed to be, I don't know, but they shouldn't even be using this shit on rappers and street gang. Man, this shit was for real organized gangs like the mob, bro. For them to be using RICOs on these goofy ass, these guys are not they're not smart. And it's gonna sound fucked up for me to say this, but ain't none of these YSL ain't smart enough for you to put a RICO on them. The mob, the mafia, them niggas was smart and strategic, disciplined. You had to put a RICO on them niggas because you just could not figure out the mob. These niggas they talk on prison phones. That's not smart. They talk on recorded phones. They talk too much on the phone. They know that they out here committing crimes. Why is y'all talking on the phones like the state of Georgia won't wiretap y'all? Then y'all was talking on the phone, not even know y'all talking on the phone. Y'all heard all y'all conversations at court. So these dudes ain't even smart. So for you to put a RICO on these little petty nickel and dime hustlers that's so happen to be best friends with this rich rapper that y'all probably don't like any motherfucking way. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. These guys are dumb as hell. When you think of the RICO law, they had to use that for the mafia, bro. Them niggas was just too smart and strategic, and they had reach to powerful people. These niggas reach ain't farther than their own neighborhood, bro. These niggas, this should be crazy be putting RICO on guys like that and still ain't got no evidence for real. These guys ain't got a bunch of crazy money. These niggas, Yak Gotti and SB ain't millionaires, bro. When you think about the mafia, nigga, from the top guy to the Capones, them niggas they all had real money. Them niggas was getting money. These little niggas, they just friends with a rich dude who spoon feed them every now and then. But to put a RICO on these small time, wait till they get to the pictures of the drugs they found, child. Think of all the drugs the mafia was selling compared to a couple ounces that these little small time guys got. This shit crazy. This RICO law.
Belknap, Dather, and Dennis talk about the sex money murder, where YSL is a subset of that. Like, it's their own words. They're not hiding from it. They're not.
He was a lame.
He keeps pointing that out. He's like, it's their own words. Let them tell you what they are.
Again, Miles Farley, when the OGs don't feed, it boosts up the crime rate, right? They're actively telling you what they're doing, which was in Rodelius Ryan's Instagram. You all saw this video.
And let's all the way keep it 100, bro. Y'all ain't even know the mob that be taking these type of pictures, bro. These niggas is not no criminal organization. These are a bunch of dudes from the hood who all hang out together, who made up a little hood street name for their little group, and that's what they go by, bro. We all grew up like that, bro. This ain't nothing but a little clique of niggas who don't like another group of motherfuckers. But this is everywhere. This is not no RICO worthy fucking shit. Like,
again, take them at their word.
These niggas.
Little baby rollout.
And I ain't gonna lie, let's discuss this. Having the baby throwing gang signs, that's just crazy work right there. That's crazy work. So y'all already know he finna grow up slime. This is why you gotta get the fuck out the ghetto, bro. From a kid. Yo, this nigga's throwing. Look at the gang sign he throwing. He ain't even walking. Somebody is holding him. Look how elegant he throws this gang sign. This shit is amazing. He probably don't even know his ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, but he knows slime. This shit is crazy, bro. Gotta do better in the community. This is one of the reasons I'm mad at these niggas, Young Thug, and even though this shit, come on, man, can't be doing they teaching the kids that shit, man. Bad influences.
For a small time. They do keep pistols and they do light people up, which means shooting at them. What is YSL about? I said the deception. You have the flash and the fame and the lifestyle. It's all a joke. And then you have the reality of YSL street gang members exacting violence on members of their own community repeatedly over the years.
I'm watching it and showing y'all this video at the same time. So they've been deliberating for 1 hour, 32 minutes. Fuck it, 1 hour, 33 minutes, because it just fucking changed.
The intimidation. I think y'all all know well what we've shown and walked through, the violence publicly about witnesses who come in and testify, the way that people get YSL amnesia, as I call it, when they sit in the witness stand and they can't remember entire years of their life. It's not believable, except there's real fear and there's real trepidation to coming into a court and testifying. Destruction. I don't have to go on this long. It clearly has their actions and crimes have destroyed pockets of the communities, multiple communities in Fulton County. And death. You've heard about the murders that they've committed repeatedly. In Fulton County, you can get a driver's license, you can get a fishing license, but what you can't do as the criminal RICO enterprise is no one's above the law, and you don't have a license to kill, and you don't have a license to operate for impunity for a decade as citizens in Fulton County. Because it doesn't matter in Fulton County if you're the richest, if you're the poorest, it doesn't matter anything about who you are. You don't deserve to be victimized. And a criminal enterprise has a lot more power and strength. And the crime that they've done, the pattern, the evidence, the agreement that they've had publicly proclaiming it is clear that this RICO enterprise is very real. It's more than just a conspiracy. It's alive and active. They willingly and knowingly agree to it, and they don't think that anyone will hold them accountable. But as reasonable, fair-minded jurors, when you deliberate and walk through the evidence and you compare the evidence with the law from the judge, there's no conclusion but guilty on count 1 RICO. And I argue it's both subsection A and B, but that's for y'all to decide. And these crimes charged, the criminal street gang and RICO, I ask you guilty on all those counts. Ms. Hill will talk to you after the defense, and we'll talk to you about why the defendants are guilty of the charged murders of Donovan Thomas and Chanel Drinks. Thank you.
All right, they're back from lunch break. Atkins' closing was a little all over the place, probably a bit confusing for the jury. I mean, it was a lot of association and post of YSL and everything. I mean, he bounced back and forth between 2015, 2013, and 2022 like 50 times. So, all right, the legendary Max Sharp closing arguments, boys. Here we go.
Accusations are easy to make. Allegations
I like him, man.
are easy to wage. And this indictment has plenty of both. But here's the thing. There's a big difference between making allegations and proving them in court beyond a reasonable doubt to the citizens of Fulton County. It's a different matter entirely. The state has spent the past year with a hammer in their hand, banging on a square peg that they call evidence. Banging, 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 trying so hard to fit that square peg into the round hole that they call their narrative, their theory. And the reality is that square peg does not fit in that round hole. It never fit. The state hasn't proven their case, and they certainly haven't proven their case beyond a reasonable doubt. In this indictment, the state accused Shannon Stillwell in count 1 of conspiring to violate the Georgia RICO Act. He did not. They have not proven their case beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm going to ask you to find Shannon Stillwell not guilty. In count 2, the state alleged that Shannon Stillwell on January 10, 2015 shot and killed Donovan Thomas. He did not. The state hasn't proven their case beyond a reasonable doubt. And I'm going to ask you to find Shannon Stillwell not guilty of count 2. In counts 49 through 54, the state has alleged that Shannon Stillwell on March 14, 2022 shot and killed Chanel Drinks. He did not. The state has not proven their case beyond a reasonable doubt. And I'm going to ask you to find Shannon Stillwell not guilty. I want to acknowledge you, the jurors. I want to acknowledge the immense time commitment that you have given this case. I want to acknowledge the sacrifice to your family, the sacrifice to your job, the sacrifice to your vacation plans, the fact that you have been paying close attention to this case. And for that reason, I'm going to try to avoid rehashing every piece of evidence. I'm going to try to be as direct and concise as possible. Essentially, they're saying he conspired to acquire, maintain directly or indirectly an interest in and control of United States currency and other personal property through a pattern of racketeering activity. And while associated with an enterprise, did unlawfully conspire to conduct and participate in, directly and indirectly, such enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity. And that is the state's use of quote unquote expert.
Let's go. He's diving in with gang expert, because I hope all of you watching this realize a gang expert is complete horseshit.
Specifically,
oh my mama, bro. Any of y'all that been watching this shit, Max Sharp better say something about Detective Viverito or whatever her little light-skinned ass is, because she definitely ain't no expert at shit. The motherfucking prosecution was just bringing people in here to talk about shit that they ain't know nothing to fucking about. And I'm pretty sure she stole that nigga Thug watch. One of them motherfuckers stole Thug watch. It probably was her. Gave it to some other nigga she was fucking with. Telling you.
The gang investigators. We heard GGIA, Georgia Gang Investigators Association. We heard that a lot. About how there's 20 members. Remember, and we asked about what your training is, and they say, well, I go to the 2-day seminar every year. GGIA, there's 20 members. And then we learn who teaches at these seminars. Remember Detective Underwood? And Detective Underwood was a nice lady, but she was sent up here. They wanted her to testify about the intersection of gangs and music. And she clearly wasn't qualified. She knew almost nothing about music. But she said, yeah, I'm qualified because I think I did a 2-hour block a couple years ago on that. I think Viverito taught that class. So now Viverito is the teacher. So I asked her, I said, oh, very interesting. You took a 2-hour class a couple years ago in this subject, and that makes you an expert. Okay. Did you guys hear from any experts in Black history, Black art, any literature professors, anyone that has studied hip hop, anyone from the hip hop community, anyone from the community at large, when you guys all meet, the 20 of you, to talk about gang stuff at this seminar? Nope. It was just investigator Viverito. Okay, what about scholarly reports? Nope, just Investigator Viverito.
So they all have the same like knowledge and experience, and they called 5.
Nigga, they cops.
Experts about what their
They
training is,
cops,
what their
a bunch of
background is, what
punk-ass
their
cops who
basis
think they
for
experts
testifying
in
as
police.
experts and telling us how to analyze things, telling us what certain words mean, telling us what's gang related or not, telling us what's relevant and what's not. It all stems from these meetings, this echo chamber that they have.
Ooh, that's a good word, echo chamber.
Hear from no one else, no outside voices at all. And they all call each other experts. And they even created an association to look official. Think about Lieutenant Gaither when she was on the stand. Remember when I was allowed to ask questions? I tried to ask her some questions when they weren't vague.
That's a shot at Gaither right there.
Did she really want to answer my question?
I remember
You know,
Gaither.
you see on
I remember Detective Gaither. She was the one that I think she called Max horrible. Or I don't know which one of them she called horrible, but that's who they talking about. Her big black gorilla ass.
direct with the state, back and forth. It's like a tango. Yeah, it's a script. And then I get up, where another defense attorney gets up to ask questions. Can't get a simple answer for anything. What color is the sky? Oh, let me tell you about the FedEx video.
This is so good.
FedEx video.
Commentary. Same thing with Investigator Viverito. Just unnecessary commentary, avoiding answering questions that I ask. Clearly, Investigator Dennis was doing the same thing. He's out of here. He was sent home. Consider the manner that they testify and how much weight and credibility they really have in this matter.
Zero.
Think about their interest and lack of interest in the case, also known as their bias.
Pointing out something they got completely wrong here. This is Future's logo. It's not about rival gang.
This was a symbol of a gang war. This is the gang war that was going on. This is YSL declaring war on Bird Gang, which is an offshoot of the If Gang. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. She told you that. As sure as can be.
That's an album cover.
That y'all are supposed to rely on. Well, what did my good friend, Attorney Brian Steele, do? Brought in the album cover. Wait a second. You're saying that this is a Hawk Skull and a gang war? Isn't this an album cover of a collaboration between my client, Young Thug, this is Attorney Steele talking, Young Thug and Future? And isn't his label Free Bands? And isn't Future's Free Bands mascot an eagle? Isn't this album cover signifying the collaboration between the eagle and the snake? Doesn't that make more sense? After all, that's exactly what the album is. Okay. What you saying? I run with cold-blooded killers. Blooded killers. That's for Marvius Nichols. That looks pretty bad. Looks bad. It's posted a day after this killing.
She screenshotted it on the exact millisecond that was popping up on the screen for a song.
Bro, and for any of y'all on here that got Instagram, y'all know how Instagram work when you post music to your video. Instagram will just start playing a random part of the song with the lyrics on the screen, but you can go in there and rearrange or move the little music thing to go to a specific set of lyrics. Man, he just picked a song, and then she sat there and screenshotted the song on that specific part to try to make him look good. These motherfuckers be making up bullshit evidence, bro. Because he didn't take the song to those specific lyrics. Those specific lyrics played across the screen in the video, bro. Her little high yellow ass knew what the fuck she was doing. That's why this shit should have came back not guilty already. All this misconduct. Like, they've been deliberating for an hour and 41 minutes.
And this is song lyrics of Young Boy.
We find out that this was part of a post, a story that had a bunch of different posts about fear of roller coasters, about being sick, whole bunch of different things. And then we finally get to the part where it has the lyrics from Young Boy Never Broke Again, right? We don't even see these lyrics.
While it was
Why
playing.
don't we see them on this post? Because they're on for a millisecond.
Hey, everyone. Interrupting your research with...
Hey, interrupting you. Not with that damn commercial.
Of the switch. And we hear about Instagram and how those aren't really words that Mr. Nichols would have typed. Those are words from a song that he picked. And sometimes you pick the lyrics if you want, and sometimes Instagram picks them for you. But what else do we see from watching the entire post? Those weren't even the featured lyrics. The lyrics were being transitioned to the lyrics that either Instagram or Mr. Nichols picked. But in a split millisecond, for whatever reason, these lyrics that Investigator Viverito so desperately wanted you guys to see were on the screen. And so what did Investigator Viverito do? She gets the post, she goes frame by frame until it gets to that exact point where it has what she feels looks like incriminating words by Mr. Nichols. Words that weren't even picked by him. And she freezes it, and she screenshots it, and then she puts it in front of you. Again, no report about what she did. She manipulated the evidence. What does that tell you about her? When we're talking about assessing credibility, your lack of interest in the case, your bias.
I'm gonna put this shit on the screen. I'm gonna put this shit on the screen because whoever this is, LWW, is that the real Ja Morant, the female version? I have no idea, bro. I have zero idea. I recognize that shit a long time ago. Like, huh? But I ain't asked no questions because it ain't none of my business. But your ass, you cooking, you on to something type shit. You's a funny man.
Does she have an agenda when she does things like that? Of course she does. And so she had to fill out an affidavit to give it to a judge to get permission to convince the judge, basically, to give her permission to search Jeffrey Williams' home for evidence.
24M on an M-word head, completely out of context.
YSL Rule the World hid 24M on an N head, folds it and makes it bigger and circles it.
Then this the type of, look at this. I'm glad this is the paperwork that the Vivrito chick gave to the judge, and look how she circled it. 24M on a nigga head, and this is not. She's misinterpreting, or she did misinterpret what Young Thug was saying. But that just to show you that they wasn't investigating shit that made these guys innocent. They was only trying to investigate it to find guilt. That's why they was making stupid ass mistakes like this. Like this was a major mistake. Nobody, it don't come on, y'all. It don't cost $24 million to get nobody killed. Shit, I'm from Cincinnati. Let's think about it. Somebody in Cleveland can have somebody, a crackhead in Cleveland, to kill you for a pack of beer. You know, it don't cost no $24 million to get nobody killed. Boosie, think about Lil Boosie and Marlo Mike. Marlo Mike sitting in jail for what? Boosie gave that little nigga what? $1,500, $1,800 to do that bullshit. It don't cost $24 million to get nobody killed. Like, come on, man, stop the bullshit.
For the judge to draw attention to that, because of course she wants the judge to feel that Mr. Williams is just ordering hits on people. That's the implication. That's the message she's sending the judge. And here I am, investigator Viverito sat in that chair and said, she doubled down. And she said, you know what? Even knowing what I know now about 24M on N's head, even knowing what I know now, I would still put it in that affidavit. That's all I needed to hear. Yeah, I would mislead a judge. Yeah, I would lie in an affidavit. Yeah, I would cheat because I'm that invested in this case. I'm that invested with taking these guys down.
Opening up Viverito's mouth and shitting in it right now. It's because what she said on the stand. She said she would double down on it.
Consider their credibility. Take what they say with a huge grain of salt. You don't have to believe what they say. You can disregard everything they say. The law allows you to do that. Some might be saying slap. A lot of times people are, and it's kind of sad to watch, a lot of people talking about all the stuff they got when we all know they really don't have anything. About all the cars they own. Remember that one gentleman? Oh yeah, I'm getting my daughter this, I'm getting my son that car. We saw those videos and I'm watching all these videos. And I'm wondering, what's the point? Why is the state playing this? Just to show like bad kids or who they feel are bad kids? Just to show who they feel are future criminals? Like what's the point of these videos that are really sad to watch? And you see Jeffrey Williams leaning on a car and you see his emaciated body. You see his teeth that are rotten. And he's wearing pants that are clearly too short, too small, clearly been handed down, traded. They didn't come out of Phipps Plaza. You see him wearing a Alabama Letterman jacket.
Hold on. Let me wipe it out. Hold on. My nigga, let's say he's the king of white flag, right? Tell her what time. Let lady folks see what you're doing now. All right, you take him out now.
What happens there? I think about when I was young. If I had to struggle, if I had to wear clothes that I was embarrassed about, if I was embarrassed about anything, I would hide. I would run. I would stay inside. I'd be ashamed. I might lash out at people picking at me. But what happens there? Jeffrey Williams takes those clothes, those tattered clothes, those old clothes, those ill-fitting clothes, and he twists it. He turns it around. Now, these aren't rags. This ain't nothing to be ashamed of. This is white boy swag. This is swag. Think about that for a second. What that means, I'm not suggesting Shannon Stillwell saw that video, but that mindset. I'm not ashamed where I came from. In fact, I'm going to turn it into a positive. I'm going to turn it into a sense of pride. And you see someone that you know making it, and making it on his terms with that level of confidence.
Maximilian.
Now think about if you're Shannon Stillwell, raised by your grandmother, facing many of the same issues that Jeffrey's talking about, that he's rapping about, that these young men in Cleveland Avenue are facing, many of the same challenges. And then you also want to be a rapper. And all of a sudden, this person that you can identify with, this person that has the confidence you wish you had, this person that's taking everything negative and turning it into a positive. And then he raps too. And it's all blowing up in your backyard. And you want to be a musician. And you want to go into the studio.
So I think the narrative he's going for here is anyone who was in the same position as all these guys would go for it if they had the opportunity, if they saw Thug blowing up and shit.
You want studio time. And Jeffrey Williams and his friends have studio time because now they have backing. And studio time ain't cheap.
I don't get what the fuck he was talking about right there. I don't have no clue what the fuck he was talking about. Go for what?
And you want connections. Isn't that exactly who you'd want to associate with?
I don't know.
Not to conspire to violate any RICO laws. You want to be there because he's doing what you want to do and you are identifying with him. No rules about false flagging. Anyone can do it. Everyone does do it. People all over the world wiping their nose. It's not false flagging because it's not a gang. When LeBron James does it, he's not false flagging because there's no gang. He's showing he identifies with the movement. He identifies with the confidence that Jeffrey Williams shows. He identifies with turning negative into positive. There's no gender rules in YSL, and there's no exclusions. Has the state proven that Shannon Stillwell knowingly and willfully conspired to participate in an enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity? Well, Mr. Atkins says, well, he killed Donovan Thomas, so that's proof right there. Well, that's pretty circular logic. He didn't kill Donovan Thomas. Well, he killed Jamal Drinks. That's proof right there. No, he didn't kill Jamal Drinks. What have they proven Shannon Stillwell has done to say that he knowingly and willfully conspired to do anything other than to be around Jeffrey Williams and try to make music and further his rap career and be around people that he identified with? He's been in social media pictures with many of the people that he hangs out with. Okay. He uses the word slat, uses a green snake emoji. Okay. A lot of people do that. Who's going to tell LeBron that he's acting like a RICO conspirator? Who's going to tell LeBron that he's
LeBron's
now a hybrid gang member? In fact, we just heard what the state said about wiping the nose meant, according to the gang experts. Who's going to tell LeBron that he's like ordering a hit in the middle of NBA warmups? Is what the gang investigator said.
Bro, funny as hell time, but I ain't say nothing wrong, did I? Nah, I was like, I'm finna pause this shit right quick. Hold on, let me pause this shit. I don't know who that is, bro. I don't know.
Say, should we really take it? Hook, line, and sinker? There's no doubt that people with YSL tattoos, there's no doubt that people that say slat have committed crimes. No one's disputing that. Isolated crimes by an individual or a group of individuals that have nothing to do with any alleged conspiracy cannot be overt acts. It's not just crimes that or other acts that are alleged against people associated with YSL. The acts must further the criminal objectives of the alleged conspiracy. Artistic expression. Jeffrey's lyrics. When Jeffrey says slat in a song or slime in a song, which is recognized worldwide and is popular and sells albums, we're gonna pretend that there's no context to this, and we're just gonna pretend that all these lyrics are somehow designed to further a RICO organization. That's absurd. We're gonna pretend Shannon Stillwell's statements about bragging about beating a murder rap, which is good for his music career, is somehow furthering some criminal objectives, some conspiracy. That's absurd. They list in their list of overt acts a bunch of social media posts of people with tattoos on their face. Nothing else. Just, he took a picture with a tattoo on his face. Slime clothing, or Make America Slime Again clothing. Clothing created, mind you, by Miles Farley, a person who was able to, again, turn negative into positive and turn that movement that was going on in Cleveland Avenue in a way for him to make money through selling clothing, for him to provide to his family. Okay, yeah, but when you sold it and made a profit, who are you gonna share the money with? They look at me like I was crazy. Man, this is a $100 bag of weed. I ain't sharing money with anyone. I'm a drug dealer. I buy drugs and I sell drugs and I make a profit and I keep the profit. What evidence have we seen at all that any of this petty drug dealing had anything to do with furthering some criminal enterprise? It's isolated acts. They list gun possession. 2019, they say Shannon Stillwell was possession of a gun in furtherance of the criminal objectives of the conspiracy. Man, ever since Shannon Stillwell was falsely accused of killing Donovan Thomas in 2015, about people shooting at his head, people shooting at the car he's in, people are trying to kill him. And you think he's possessing a gun as some furtherance of some conspiracy? Does that make any sense? He's trying to survive. The murder of Jamari Holmes, tragic event.
Interesting tweet here. Kathy said,
let's talk about it, bro. If these niggas, hold on, okay, make sure my camera work. Just make sure my camera. But no, if these niggas was selling drugs. If these niggas were selling drugs to further the criminal end, who the fuck was they giving the drug money to? Fucking Young Thug. Y'all think they was giving their drug money to the rich rapper because he's the leader? We gotta bring all the money to him, and like, what the fuck is they talking about, bro? These niggas wasn't shit they was doing. Young Thug was spoon feeding these niggas. He wasn't taking care of them. He was making sure they was cool. You know what I'm saying? Doing little shit here and there. But other than that, man, them niggas was out there, still had to get it how they was living. Goddamn, yeah, do this and do that when I need it type shit. But that motherfucking nigga ain't out there like they mama and daddy type shit, like take care of these niggas. But the fuck is this, man?
During Max's closing, juror seems attentive. Some are moving in their seats quite often. The seemingly uninterested female juror continues to give off a vibe that she's over it. People are still taking notes. So one of
I saved $700 with Liberty Mutual.
Stop it. Liberty, Liberty. Oh, it was two commercials right there. They tried to play me, huh? I thought I'm smoking, taking me out there to skip this shit.
over it completely. Jurors seem engaged. Some leaned forward, taking in the closing. Some are taking notes. Though there's one juror who's leaned back and her body language doesn't seem too interested. So she just doesn't give a fuck about it.
It was like a 15-year-old doing something incredibly
Yeah,
stupid.
hell yeah. The jury
It wasn't. It's an isolated act committed by someone who screams out YSL and screams out slap. But that doesn't mean it's furthering any conspiracy. We hear about Jaden Myrick. First of all, who the heck is Jaden Myrick? I know they put him on this indictment, like to try to say, oh yeah, he's a co-conspirator in this too. But they're the ones that put his name on this indictment. What have we heard about Jaden Myrick? We ever hear about Jaden Myrick ever meeting Shannon Stillwell? Do we have any indication that Jaden Myrick knows Shannon Stillwell?
That was something I thought about too, because they obviously put a lot into the Lucci stabbing, which Jaden stabbed Lucci, but there wasn't any evidence that Jaden knew anyone, like no connection, no pictures or anything.
What about Jeff?
No pictures, just a nigga stuck in jail, hungry, looking at here go YF and Lucci Thug got a problem with him. Oh, ask him how much could I get for trying to stab this dude. Man, that nigga was just hungry. That shit ain't got nothing to do with no YSL. They ain't even show no pictures of dude with YSL. Like, where the oh my god, cook him, Max. Max is cooking.
Jeffrey Williams. Any indication that Jaden Myrick knows Jeffrey Williams? Who the heck's Jaden Myrick? But some dope in the jail that's looking to make money by doing something incredibly stupid and attacking Rashawn Bennett. So he calls another dope. And they come up with their own little plan, but it has nothing to do with some broad conspiracy that Shannon Stillwell willfully and knowingly joined. Somehow Christian Ebinger making an idiotic decision to shoot an officer to avoid being arrested. Somehow that is in furtherance of some conspiracy that Shannon Stillwell knowingly and willfully joined.
It's not connected at all.
In review of count one.
No, that's a whole different
YSL is many things.
This is individual.
It's not a game.
They
full-fledged or hybrid.
Put it out.
And it's certainly not a RICO enterprise. Shannon Stillwell, in associating himself with Jeffrey Williams and Trontavious Stevens and Clamarvius Nichols, his good friend, and Miles Farley and others, and Wooney Lee, he wasn't knowingly and willfully conspiring with anyone to participate in any enterprise aimed at a pattern of racketeering activity. He was in the mix. He was trying to make music. He was also, coincidentally, if we're being honest, he was selling drugs. He wasn't sharing them with anyone. He wasn't sharing the profits. He was selling drugs and trying to make music. And he was around the right people to be trying to do that with, because those connections were going to, in his mind, further his music career, which is what he wanted. And no overt acts were ever committed in furtherance of any conspiracy that Shannon Stillwell knowingly and willfully joined. The state has to prove every element of that charge beyond a reasonable doubt. They have failed. There is reasonable doubt. It's not true. And your verdict on count one must be not guilty. That type of music exists. That type of music is popular. And that's the type of music that Shannon Stillwell was doing. We heard about the common terms in this drill music: ops, glizzy, blicky, red lights. And we heard 5 of Shannon's songs. We heard Slap Talk, Lizard Walk, Red Light, featuring D-Slime and Vito, full S-H-I-T, with Dolly,
that's how you know they ain't got no evidence.
and Ran This Money with Slime Life Shorty, a signed artist who had already made it, at least to a certain degree. We hear about all sorts of violence. We hear about red lights. We hear about glizzies, walk them down, homicides, FNs. We hear it all. And out of context, it doesn't paint Shannon Stillwell in the best light. And I don't think I've ever claimed that Shannon Stillwell is an angel either, but it is art. When he references beating a murder rap, when he keeps bringing up Donovan Thomas, it's not a confession. That's what he's known for. That's his selling point in this type of music that celebrates it, much to some of our chagrin. Why does he keep referencing Donovan Thomas? Years later, he's already been arrested for this charge. Wouldn't he be quiet about it? He would if he did it. But why does he keep bringing up Donovan Thomas? Well, I have 2 things for you to consider. Maybe, just maybe, on that particular day in June of 2022, Shannon Stillwell had enough. For 7 years, the police put a target on his back, and people had been shooting at him. He was shot at the Green Store. They shot at his head. He was so bold to go to JJ's Chicken and Fish to get himself some food with the mother of his child and another female who was driving. He was so bold to do that when they left that parking lot, 3 men in a car sped up behind him and shot at that car, riddling the back of that car with bullets, shooting poor Tierra Jones in the face, instantly killing the driver, Miss Jones,
but they ain't
causing the
talking
car
about that.
to careen and turn.
But I be trying to tell y'all, bro. These YSL dudes, they sound more like victims to me. Cause motherfuckers was trying to Shannon. Y'all gotta remember this. This situation, Shannon almost got killed. Then Shannon got stabbed while he been in jail. So motherfuckers trying to kill that motherfucking nigga too, for them to be trying to make it seem like they this big dangerous gang. Like, hell nah. They'll be trying to paint that picture because SB been looking like a victim. Motherfuckers been getting at him quick.
Turn over and over and over, severely injuring Mr. Stillwell, scarring his head to this day, putting him in the hospital for months, putting the mother of his child in the hospital. When the police come to talk to Mr. Stillwell, remember what he does? He feels bad about the situation. He feels awful. That
basically mean Shannon was in a car with his baby mama and her friend, and motherfuckers start shooting at it, trying to kill him. Killed this girl, killed this baby mama friend. And then Shannon ended up like having like a collapsed lung or some shit like that. Some serious shit. He got fucked up pretty bad. Crazy shit.
Ask the officer, can I write a letter of remorse to Tierra Jones's family? And he does. And then the officer says, well, can you talk to me about the case? And know what he does? He talks to the officers about the case. And he gives names. He gives names of the people that he feels were in that car, that red car that sped up behind him, tried to kill him and kill Tierra Jones. He gave up those names. Shannon Stillwell had dared talk to the police to try to help solve the senseless murder of an innocent woman, was broadcast on Instagram and social media. And people were chastising Shannon Stillwell and coming at him on social media and in real life over the fact that he made such a ridiculous decision as to try to bring justice to Tierra Jones' family. That was his reward for that. So yeah, people shooting at his head, narrowly missing at the Green Store. People shooting at him in a car, killing someone in the car and putting him in the hospital. People chastising him online for being so bold to tell the police what happened, who killed Tierra Jones, poor Tierra Jones. Maybe in January 2022, just maybe, possibly, he had enough. He was sick of the nonsense. If you want to say it, then I'll be it. Remember that song, Homicide by Lil Woody, Kenneth Copeland, who played the role of the assassin? Fret, Trevante Turner. You watched the video. I don't think we need to watch it again. Who gets killed? Someone who looks like Donovan Thomas, who put money on his head. If songs are confessions, then Kenneth Copeland is confessed.
Yeah, bro. Hold on, let me see if I can go back. I'm gonna play this shit for y'all. Matter of fact, I'm gonna find it on the back screen. Remember when it was somebody in the comments? Let me go find a comment for y'all right quick, because I just told somebody this. K. Joseph, he commented this a while ago. Only if the state was try hard. If only the state try hard at finding who really killed Donovan. Bro, I keep saying Woody killed Donovan. And this music video right here in the background, let me move this so y'all can see it. This music video is YSL Woody's video, and it shows them basically killing Donovan Thomas. Like, so but mind y'all, they cut not a plea deal. They cut a deal with Woody, immunity agreement with Woody. But mind you, this music video is Woody's. I'm gonna pull this video up, show y'all that shit later. I probably can't, because I probably can, even though it's music. I probably can. It probably ain't online no more.
Who gets killed? Someone who looks like Donovan Thomas, who put money on his head. If songs are confessions, then Kenneth Copeland is confessed.
Adding doubt to the whole situation. Point out that Woody could have killed Donovan Thomas, but he's on to the nut murder now.
This man who's saying his name is Nicholas Robinson, this man is telling Detective Thorpe his name is Nicholas Robinson, his name is actually Spencer Wright. So she goes and tells Thorpe. And what does Thorpe do? He's interviewing someone about what they allegedly saw in this high-profile case, and this person has just lied to him about his name. What does Thorpe do? He continues to interview him. And then the very next day, he goes out and takes warrants on 4 people, including my client.
All based off a person who's lying about their name. But yeah, he was never on the footage where he said he was.
On what bench? Where? Circle it on his picture. And about how he went.
I'd like to propose a toast.
Pause on that. The Sopranos. Y'all like The Sopranos?
To look at the surveillance himself. And what did he see? An empty bench. Spencer Wright not only lied about his name, but he lied about a lot more. But know who he duped? Detective Thorpe. We have no ballistics from the Donovan Thomas case, no DNA or fingerprints. We have an infinity car, which we will talk about in a minute as well. But essentially, this Donovan Thomas case comes down to 2 witnesses. And in my opening, I warned you all about people wearing Fulton County blues. That was the theme of my opening. Rice Street is disgusting, horrible place. Being locked up anywhere is awful. And there are people who will lie on other people to stay out of Rice Street. You don't believe me? Spencer Wright, Nicholas Robinson. He's the proof of concept right there. Getting locked up, wants to talk to the detective, and then completely makes things up. And the next day, warrants are being signed. This is not some theory that I have that people lie to get themselves out of trouble. It's proven. Spencer Wright did it. Quindarius Zachary, is he on this indictment? Nope. Kenneth Copeland, is he on this indictment? Are any of us going to really sit here and pretend that if the state was really being honest about who to charge about the events in 2015, 2014, 2015, that Kenneth Copeland wouldn't be on that indictment?
It makes absolutely no sense. Woody would 100% be on that indictment. There's a reason for that.
He's not on this indictment. Quindarius Zachary was a straw purchaser for guns. Quindarius Zachary, right in the middle, the impetus for one of the overt acts, the April 28th, 2015 shooting of houses. He's right in the middle of this. And they're not on the indictment? And we're supposed to pretend that the state aren't the ones that chose Kenneth Copeland and Quindarius Zachary as their witnesses? Of course they did. They are two people that happened to put themselves in situations, serious situations, that would require them to lie on others to get themselves out of trouble. Those were their two qualifications. And the state said, sounds good. We'll sign you up. You're our witnesses. You're no longer on this indictment.
Sarge's doing a good job so far, in my opinion.
So as a result of his lie, he gets charged with these two felonies.
He cooking them. Like I keep telling y'all, Woody was one of the killers, bro. Woody killed Donovan. Woody killed Donovan, one of the witnesses at the beginning of the trial, or I don't even know if it's at the beginning, when they was testifying, the guys that was on scene when Nut got killed in the drive-by. I swear one of them dudes said, he ain't say Woody, but he described Woody. He said, nah, it was a bald head dude hanging out the car shooting. Woody and them that they cut them deals with, they did this shit. Let me see. Expose him, Max. Expose him. Yeah, bro. Max finna cook their ass, bro. He always cooking them.
And it's pending.
Look at her.
And it's pending. And it's pending.
I remember this now. They dropped the charge suddenly.
As this case is ramping up, Mr. Copeland's going to have to take a stand and be asked about his pending charges and his prior lies. All of a sudden, on January 18th, 2024, Fani Willis and her employee, Kenneth Hutcherson,
still deliberating too.
Dismissed the case against Kenneth Copeland.
2 hours.
The case of false statement, the case of false report of a crime. Oh, we actually looked at the video again and it actually supported Kenneth Copeland? No. Was it the victim didn't want to prosecute? No. Prosecutorial discretion. They decided it was in their best interest to dismiss that case against Kenneth Copeland before he testified. Remember I told Kenneth Copeland about it? Thought he was going to get up and hug me. He said, my case is dismissed? Yeah, sure was. State took care of you. You're not on this indictment either. Kenneth Copeland's a liar. He's a proven liar. And let's talk about his prior statements he made, because we know on June 10, 2015 is when he said Demekion Garlington gave him certain information and that Shannon Stillwell was one of the people responsible for killing Donovan Thomas. Demekion told him at the McDonald's. That's what Kenneth Copeland said on June 10, 2015. Kenneth Copeland actually met with the police in 2015 4 times prior to that June 10, 2015 interview. If it were true, Kenneth Copeland would have that knowledge of what Demekion Garlington said to him for all these meetings. January 11, 2015, he goes in to talk to Thorpe. Doesn't say anything.
So now he's getting into Woody lying during interviews.
And he's asked about
Woody
specifically by Detective Thorpe. If he's ever rented or driven an Infiniti.
Like I keep telling y'all, most of these motherfuckers that's in this case, that's on this RICO, man, Woody ass was telling on their ass first, because Woody ain't want to go to jail. Woody ain't want to go to that dirty ass jail. So he like, I'm just finna start lying and put motherfuckers' names and shit, man. He be on some other shit.
And what does Kenneth Copeland say? No, never. Denies it completely. That's on January 11th.
Definitely a lie, because he admitted to driving the car days before. The bumper popped off on the highway or whatever.
Kenneth Copeland was in the Infiniti on the night of January 9th with Quindarius Zachary. So he lies right off the bat to Detective Thorpe. Lie after lie after lie. Denying beef with Donovan Thomas, denying stealing Donovan Thomas's chain, denying ever being in an Infiniti. It shows Mr. Copeland wearing street clothes, civilian clothes, not a blue jumpsuit. But
then it's like I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. Y'all see that they got Young Thug on renting the rental car. So, bro, the same day that Thug allegedly gave the rental car to Woody, Donovan Nut Thomas dies that same night. And like they already told you, bro, Woody and Quindarius was in the Infiniti together. So 9 times out of 10, the motherfuckers who was involved in killing Donovan was Woody. He was shooting. the Kendarius dude was either driving or the passenger, and it was another dude, or it was just them two. But they had that Infinity, and they was together because they end up crashing the car on the highway, and the bumper came off. They said that shit in their interrogation videos. I think Woody and Kendarius acknowledged that shit.
Not get confused. Let's not get it twisted.
And I keep
On June
telling
10th,
y'all, Woody is the
2015,
one who really
Kenneth
killed
Copeland, for the first time, was headed to jail for serious charges.
So that's the reason why he was yapping, eh?
You're a career criminal. We got you dead to rights. You're facing 15 plus
Woody,
10. That's 25.
Woody,
No parole.
get him, man.
You're not going to get out till you're 48. And that's not even including the conspiracies. You won't see your children till you're 48. You see what goes on here? This isn't an accident. This is the playbook. Get the liar, get him jammed up, threaten him, tell him he's not going to see his kids again until he's 48. And then, oh, but maybe we can do something for you. You just got to give us what we want. A person who fully admits that he would lie on anyone to get out of jail, to stay out of jail, to get out of trouble.
And
that was enough to coax him to make up a story.
So listen to this. Like Max just said, Woody already came to court and testified that he'd tell whatever lie he needed to tell to get out of jail. And the prosecution still gave this nigga immunity and still had him as one of their star witnesses. But this nigga's a liar, bro. The jury ain't finna believe none of that shit, bro. He be lying. Oh, shit.
About Shannon Stillwell and others. Plan in motion because he knew someone was going to have to back up his story. And that was enough to have him reach out to Demekion Garlington and try to get Demekion Garlington to go out and go on with the story, which, of course, Mr. Copeland told us he's no longer friends with Mr. Garlington. You're going to have to answer these auto breakings. Why do you have all this property and these cars? We know you're involved. Remember what he said? Nah, that was Lil Mike and Quez that did them. Remember the detectives? They looked at each other, Lil Mike and Quez, Lil Mike and Quez.
What do you made up two random names, bro?
Little Mike and Quez?
Because that nigga a lying ass nigga.
He made them up on the spot on June 10th of 2015. So my answer to you, if you think, oh, this pressure was needed to get Kenneth Copeland to finally be truthful, he was lying. He made up people that didn't exist in this very statement that the state wants you to take as truthful from one of the biggest liars we've ever seen in our lives.
Biggest liars.
First of all, what did Quindarius Zachary say at trial?
Y'all want to know how big of a liar this nigga Woody is? Man, it could be 7:30. You could ask Woody, what time is it? He gonna say 5 o'clock. That's what kind of lying ass nigga he is. He just lie for no motherfucking reason. Just be lying and shit.
That he lied on Shannon in two prior statements. One August 5th, 2015 to Lieutenant Gaither, and then one in a proper session on March 3rd of 2017. And he also admitted on cross-examination that even those two statements, those two lies he told about Shannon Stillwell were not even consistent with each other. But none of the police seemed to mind. None of the prosecutors seemed to mind. The night of the Donovan Thomas killing, Shannon Stillwell confessed to me at Jeffrey Williams' condo. And then he also went on to lie about Shannon Stillwell on this August 5th, 2015 statement, lied about Shannon Stillwell's involvement in a bunch of other cases that Shannon Stillwell has never been charged with. He just lied on Shannon. And he admitted his motivation for lying on Shannon. Knew, or he was under the belief that when he talked to the police, when he talked to Lieutenant Gaither, first of all, he needed to get bond. He had been locked up for about 7 days. His family had been calling Gaither. We heard about that, begging her to go up and talk to him. What was the urgency? Well, we didn't get into details, but we learned that Mr. Zachary has a serious illness that he wasn't going to fare well at Rice Street under those conditions. So he needed to get out. So he has people calling Gaither, come see me, I want to talk to you. I wasn't there. The only reason I know about it is because Demekion Garlington told me the next day. So immediately.
Then it's crazy with the Quindarius Zachary dude. He was like, "Oh, I got a serious medical condition. I can't be in jail. Boy, that medical condition ain't stop your ass from carrying them big ass guns around with your ass, did it? Don't be trying to play that shit. Now you sick. What the hell kind of shit is that?"
Immediately, he's lying to the police, saying he wasn't there, which of course we know he was there. Lieutenant Gaither knows he was there. But what's his explanation? It's odd. It's interesting. It seems to be a recurring theme. I wasn't there, but, and where did he say was also? I was at home because I'm always sick, right? I was at home. I'm always sick. I wasn't there. And the only reason I know about this is because Demekion Garlington the next day confessed to me. Seeing a pattern? Everyone's always confessing to Quindarius Zachary.
No.
Zachary.
Dude, Quindarius Zachary's credibility is pretty much nothing. Like, he got destroyed on the stand, man.
Of course, that was a lie. Demekion Garlington had not confessed to him. That was made up. He made up a story about someone confessing to him. And in fact, he was there. In real life, like this, if it really happened. If a friend of mine came up to me and said, Max, I have something to tell you. Earlier tonight, I murdered one of the most powerful gang members in all of Atlanta. I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, that I would remember exactly where I was when he said it. I would know exactly what was going on, where we were, who else was there, and what exactly was said. Because that's the type of thing you wouldn't forget. That's the type of thing you wouldn't forget details of. But what do we know about Quindarius Zachary's renditions of this alleged confession by Shannon Stillwell? He said, we caught Nut down bad. And then, according to Mr. Zachary, on August 5th, 2015, Shannon Stillwell also named 3 other individuals in the car. That was his statement on August 5th, 2015. But then on March 3rd, 2017, he's asked about the same alleged confession. And it's, oh, Shannon just told me he caught Nut down bad. And he didn't give me any other details at all. Didn't say anyone else who was in the car. What about the timing of the confession? On August 5th, 2015, Quindarius Zachary claims the confession occurred just as he and Muntunk pulled up to Jeffrey's condo. And Shannon was about to go to a girl's house. And we crossed paths, and he confessed to me.
Dude, yeah, they're all over the place.
All over the place. Them niggas is lying like a mother. I'm telling you, look, bro. If y'all look at the interrogation videos, yeah, not guilty, bro, not guilty. I wholeheartedly believe it was Woody who did it. Then Threat got rid of the evidence back, bro. And whoever, bro, Shay, you cooking hot grease. Cause like I'm telling you, mind you, Threat ended up getting killed. They end up killing Threat. Why I think Threat got killed? I think Threat got killed because just like you said, Threat helped cover that shit up, or he had something to do with the situation with Woody and Zay or Q, whoever the fuck they call him. Them two niggas, Woody and Zadarius, however the fuck you say his goddamn name. Woody and him is the ones who killed Donovan, bruh. And these two niggas was getting in the witness, they was getting in the interrogation room and lying, saying other niggas was killed that killed them niggas, bro. That, like I told y'all, Woody and Quindarius, them niggas lying and talking to the police is what got a lot of these niggas caught up in this situation, bro. But them two niggas is the ones who I really think did it. But they just started lying. Hella lies, like start saying everybody else's name and shit. Oh, God damn it.
He was dropped off by some girls. I know because I let him into the condo. How do those details change about something that would stick in your mind if it were true? And the answer is because it's not true. Because it was a story that was made up by Quindarius Zachary, who was facing 185 years, who needed to get out of jail because he had a serious illness, who knew that the gun he had been arrested with was going to be linked to other crimes. And just like Kenneth Copeland, he was someone that was willing to lie to get himself out of trouble. And at that particular time, the state, the investigators, and everyone else had enough leverage on him to force him to make that decision to lie on someone else. So we got these two liars who were strategically interviewed at the very time they're most likely to lie. Wouldn't it be cool if we had some corroboration?
Two liars strategically.
And like you said, two liars strategically arrested. And that's what they did, bro. That's what they did. They went and locked these two lying ass niggas up, and then these two niggas start saying everybody else's name, who they also end up indicting, bro. I'm telling y'all, them two lying ass, them two is the killers who they gave immunity deals to testify on these guys. So these guys, that's what I'm saying. Woody and Quindarius is small fries. You got them, then you got niggas like Yak Gotti and SB who are more closer to Young Thug, bro. I'm telling y'all, bro. I'm telling y'all, that's why they cut these two little niggas deals. They know y'all killed that Donovan, man. But they want y'all to put that shit on these motherfuckers. And that's exactly what they did. As soon as these two little niggas got in trouble, they went and locked their ass up, and these two niggas started telling like a motherfucker, lying like a motherfucker.
Interviewed.
This does not give exact locations. First of all, it's just devices, not people. But it doesn't give exact locations. It doesn't tell you where people were. It gives a general area. It tells you what cell phone may have been closest to the device when it was being used. And these cell phone towers have all different radiuses and all different signal strengths. So you just get a general idea. You got to be very careful about what you read into these cell phone records. That's what he said, the expert. And yes, he talked about different people calling different people that know each other calling different people on January 10, 2015. Shouldn't be that surprising. What did they say about Shannon Stillwell? Where did they say he was? Go look at those phone records. Did they provide any cell phone records for Shannon Stillwell? How about Diamante Kendrick? What is the power of those cell phone records again? What did they corroborate? Did they have Kenneth Copeland wear a wire? Remember when he was so desperate to get out of jail, I'll wear a wire.
They really don't have much for Shannon and Yak, dude. For the Donovan Thomas murder
They
specifically.
don't have nothing.
The McDonald's
on
at Old
Shannon
Hapeville and Cleveland
and
Avenue.
Yak, bro.
The very
Nothing on them
spot
for them.
where
bro.
Kenneth Copeland claims in his story that
The thing about it is they had a witness testify that the nigga that shot Nut looked at like Woody hanging out the window. Hold on, they still deliberating, man. 2 hours, 17 minutes. They still deliberating.
one met, and that Demekion Garlington told him who killed Donovan Thomas. Well, we know the McDonald's has surveillance. That's been testified to by several officers. And we know we don't have the McDonald's surveillance for January 10th, 2015. Attorney Steele asks, I ask, other attorneys ask. First we asked Gaither, did you ever try to get surveillance to McDonald's? And what did she say? Oh, we went like 2 or 3 months later, we went and we talked to a general manager and they weren't able to get into the cameras right then, but we took the card and we gave the card to Thorpe. That was her explanation of the efforts to get camera footage from the McDonald's. I said, okay, do you have that in a report that you drove down to McDonald's and talked to? Who was the person you talked to? What was their title? What was their name? Where's the card? Oh, no, I don't have that in a report. Okay, so then we asked Thorpe, what did you do to get surveillance from the McDonald's to corroborate anything Kenneth Copeland said? And this is where it gets ugly. He said, I went a couple days later and I talked to the people and they said the footage had been erased. The 15-day or however many days the cycle is ended and all the footage was erased and it started all over again. That piqued our interest because everyone knows that's not the way surveillance cameras work.
Yes, that's why they always asked about how surveillance systems work, because that's not really how it works.
Every one of them said they never heard of a surveillance system just erasing all at one time. Every single one of them means Detective Thorpe lied to us. He lied to y'all.
Yeah.
He didn't go to try to get that surveillance from the McDonald's.
How
He didn't
many
go to
surveillances y'all
what did we
know
hear
just
from
delete
DA
on the
Sprinkle? Remember that? And that's a straight
specific
shoot.
delete
DA
everything.
Sprinkle. What did DA Sprinkle said when we asked him about it?
Never
Hey,
heard
did
of that.
Detective Thorpe ever mention trying to go get the footage from the McDonald's? Did that ever come up? Because we've been asking a lot about this McDonald's footage. What did DA Sprinkle say? Detective Thorpe never brought that up to me.
I actually do believe that was a lie. The way Thorpe even responded seemed like a lie.
I know of someone who, with Trevante Turner, went and shot up Rich Homie Kwan's father's barbershop in 2014. I know of someone who stole Donovan Thomas's nut chain.
I mean, a lot of signs do point to a beef between Woody and Nut, for sure.
In cell phone out of his truck in late 2014. And when asked about it by the police, repeatedly lied about that situation. Repeatedly.
Yeah, Woody had just stole Donovan's chain and shit out his car before Donovan ended up getting killed. Like, it was, come on, man. It was Woody. Oh, my fault. I still got it muted and shit.
75 Metropolitan Avenue on January 8th, 2015, 2 days before Donovan Thomas's death, shot a hole in Rich Homie Kwan's windshield. And if you recall from the officer who responded to the scene, a shooting that very well may have occurred while Donovan Thomas was present. Remember, I asked that officer, were there people there in the studio at the time? Yes, there were. Who were they? I don't know. They wouldn't open the door. An Infinity that Kenneth Copeland was in possession of the day before the Donovan Thomas shooting. An Infinity which was last known to be in the hands of Kenneth Copeland and Quindarius Zachary before, according to Kenneth Copeland, he handed it off to his good friend, closest associate, partner in shooting up Rich Homie Kwan's father's barbershop, Trevante Turner, also known as Threat.
I mean, it's kind of crazy, right? The murder vehicle, the state.
Now y'all heard what he said. Like I told y'all, the dude who they just said they gave the car to Threat, the Threat dude ended up getting murdered too. He ended up getting killed. Like I told y'all, Quindarius and Woody had that car, and they was shooting motherfuckers, bro. They was shooting goddamn Rich Homie Daddy spot. They shot that up, and they eventually end up shooting and killing Nut either after or before that shit. But they was the ones in that car. Then when they got in that interrogation room, motherfuckers started asking questions. They started blaming everybody else, saying, "Oh yeah, well I heard they did that to Nut. They did that. They did that. Shannon, yeah, Shannon." We seen Shannon, he was finna leave, go to a girl house. He said, "Oh yeah, I did that to Nut." Man, that shit don't even make no sense, bro. What the fuck?
State says is a murder vehicle, and it's literally a fact. Woody literally admits he was in that car.
Investigator Viverito, all these posts that Kelvin Watts
But
has
they
made,
gave
has he
that
been charged?
immunity.
And the answer was no. And why was the answer no? Because posts on the internet about the death of people He even claims of responsibility, such as putting two shells under your own eyes. That's not enough to charge someone. That's not a confession. Investigator Viverito said the reality is, in this day and age, under these circumstances, dealing in this situation with the drill music and everything else, there's false claiming going on all the time. We can't go by what's on the internet. We can't go by what people post. That's not a confession. That's what we learned from Investigator Viverito. That's what she was forced to concede when we talked about the Christian McMiller and Darius Ford deaths. I'm not an expert. I'm not saying it is, but I'm just going to kind of hypothesize in front of the jury that it's a Glock 27 and they shoot 40 caliber bullets. Okay, you're not an expert, but you're throwing that in front of the jury. Never said it before until you're on the stand. And what's your experience with Glock 27s? Well, one time I went to the gun store and I was trying to decide what kind of gun to buy, and I held a Glock 27. That's it. Think about Investigator Viverito and her bias. And her
don't know the
sway
Glock
you
is.
and
I got a
identify
gun right
or
now
claim to identify
that look just like a Glock, but it ain't no
from that
goddamn
picture.
Glock. So she
And what her
got
basis is.
wrong too.
What her real basis is. Any evidence that Mr. Stillwell ever possessed that gun? And what did she say? You just can't answer no, because of course there's no evidence that Mr. Stillwell
never
ever
had.
possessed that gun. She said, well, do you have any evidence? Or I don't have any evidence that he didn't. Well, geez, that's an interesting shifting of the burden of proof from the state's witness. She's biased. She came in there to try to solve a key problem of the state's case, which is that Mr. Stillwell is not linked to any weapon that could possibly shoot the fatal bullets in the Shamel Drinks case.
I mean, that you can't dispute that. There's no link of Shannon to the murder weapon of any kind. Zero. Even the guns he got caught with, like none of them.
He's on a contraband phone. I'm not saying that's right, but let's think about that scenario for a second. We've been sitting here for a year listening to the same. This call is subject to being recorded, right? Every time someone comes from the jail, because it is recorded.
He doesn't know that the other end is wiretap. Like on the jail calls, he knows he's being recorded, but on this, he has no idea. This should be the phone where he spills a lot of beans, but nothing spilled.
Mr. Garlington's phone is tapped. Mr. Garlington doesn't know his phone is tapped. As far as they're concerned, they're having a private conversation. They have cut out the recording and are having a private conversation about March 14th, 2022. And what do they say? In this private conversation that they're having, they're not saying, oh, how can we cover this up? Oh, I think they're onto us. Oh no, I think they got us. They're saying, we didn't do anything. They're just assuming we did stuff because we're at the gas station, which is a fact that we have never denied. They were in fact at the gas station. They're having a private conversation and they're talking about how innocent they are and how the police got it wrong. And Mr. Stillwell is just saying, let's let it work itself out. No one said the car has been cleaned. It's going to come back clean, is what was said. Does Mr. Stillwell sound like an expert in gunshot residue there? Does he really sound like someone that's going to say, oh, I have so much inside knowledge on this forensic work that the police do on the inside of cars that we must clean the headliner of all things? No, he sounds like someone who knows that they were in a car on March 14th, 2022, knows that they were at the BP, knows that they left and they drove down Windsor Street, and knows, despite the fact that he's been arrested falsely for killing another gentleman, he knows in his heart that no gun was fired by him inside that car or outside that car.
Nope.
That's how he knows it's going to come back clean.
Yep.
If this was a car that was involved in a homicide on March 14th, let's consider Mr. Stillwell's actions after the fact.
The same
I don't know. It seems logical to me that if I'm in a rental car
come back clean
and I use it as part of a homicide, the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of said rental car. Distance myself from the rental car.
If you use a rental car to go shoot and kill somebody in, what the fuck you gonna keep the rental car for and extend it for? That don't make no sense. If Shannon killed somebody in the rental car, what the fuck he gonna keep it for? Then he gonna call the rental company and extend it, or he gonna keep it even longer? Come on, bro. It don't make no fucking sense.
It's on video at the BP. It's on video on Windsor Street. There's surveillance cameras all over the place in Atlanta. The first thing anyone would do if they committed a crime as heinous as this in a rental car is get rid of it.
It's a good point. I mean, they went to the studio that night. They were in the studio for hours after the murder, and then he continued to have the car for days.
Well, first of all, he runs into Investigator Viverito's 2830 Waters Road a day after the homicide, wearing the same clothes he was wearing in the BP, by the way, not really concealing his identity there. And he tells Investigator Viverito, yeah, that's the car I'm in. That's the car I'm riding in. And then what does he do later in the day on the 16th?
They still delivering too. Hold on. Let me read some of this shit. Yeah, not guilty. What that mean? Nothing. And them two guys was at the red light also. Need to lock them two guys up because they are always in vehicles committing murders. Hey, you funny as hell. I see Clayton Bigsby. Woody is an informant. That's why he been telling. He been telling. No concrete evidence. Let's see that. No concrete evidence. Lead Detective Thorpe is a joke, period. And Woody told us when he was testifying that Thorpe got the brain of a squirrel. He'll believe anything you tell him. And that's exactly what the fuck they did. Condolences to the victim family, but inefficient police and law enforcement should be one. Yeah, bro. That's why it should be not guilty, bro. They still deliberating, though. Lots of people been watching series at crime scene, etc. So just talking about GSR and the state wiretap is normal for anyone to say if a person is in the car. What exactly, bro? If I was hearing motherfuckers accusing me of shooting somebody, I'd be on the phone like, man, don't worry about nothing. Because when they do start doing their little tests, it ain't gonna come back to us. That's why these niggas ain't take no plea deal. Because I don't think they did shit. I don't think they did nothing.
Griffin, Georgia, and burn it in some back road somewhere? Does he go drop it off in Alabama? No. He calls Alamo and extends the rental until the 20th.
Hey, make sure y'all go to Cuff Boys channel and subscribe and like his shit. I don't want motherfuckers trying to be like, oh, he used my video. I'm just burning time until the verdict read. They've been deliberating for 2 hours, 28 minutes so far.
Ask yourself, really? Are those the actions of someone with a guilty conscience? Are those the actions of someone who committed a crime in a rental car? Absolutely not. Why is he doing these things? Because just like how he knows the car is going to come back clean, he knows he didn't do anything in that car. He knows he's innocent. He has no reason to get rid of the car. The ability to move body parts up and down would be immediately lost. That came out in her testimony. Now, the state followed up and said, is it possible if Mr. Drinks' foot was already on the brake when he was shot? Is it possible for his foot to remain on the brake? And Dr. Sims Stanley's answer was yes. And of course it is, because staying on the brake does not require any conscious bodily movement. But on cross, I asked a very simple question. Is it possible after being shot that shot in the neck, that Mr. Drinks would be able to actively move his foot up and down off the brake, unequivocally, with no hesitation? Dr. Sims Stanley.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So you see SB and the other dude's car pull up and you see them pull off. But then when the third car come up, you see the dude, Shamil Drinks, you see his car brake lights blink like he let off the gas. I mean, he let off the brake and then pushed back on the brake. Shit, that'd be equivalent to me as somebody who just got shot. Like he got shot and his foot was already on the brake. When the shooting started, he kind of cowered and took his foot off the brake, but then pushed it back on the brake again type shit. I don't know, bro. That's what it seemed like to me type shit. I don't know what it seemed like to y'all.
And he said, no, that would not be possible.
Like Shannon leaves, Randon McCarr pulls up next to Shamel's car, and Shamel's brake lights are going on and off. Like that's definitely weird, right?
Mr. Drinks.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The brake lights go on and off. If a motherfucker's shooting you, you ain't just gonna sit there. So I kind of feel like when the first shot went off, he took his foot off the brake and he was finna try to drive off, but then the second shot probably hit him in the neck or head, killed him instantly, and his body locked up and he hit the brakes again and the car stayed there. Because mind you, I don't think when they got to the crime scene, the car was never in park. The car was in drive, but his foot was still on the brake. Even though he had died already, like it seemed like his body locked up like that. Like, I don't know type shit, but it's still weird as hell, man.
Foot up and down off that brake. We're going to get, and he didn't just use one tab, he used two. And he dabbed that headliner again and again and again until one tab lost stickiness and then he moved to the other tab and continued to dab. And what is he dabbing for?
Everyone who hates ads will be using this Chrome
Oh
extension.
yeah, get this ad out of here. Let's get to this video. They still deliberating too. I hope they ain't deliberating long as hell. This shit ain't rocket science, bro.
That are emitted from a gun when it is fired. And he takes these tabs that he's been dabbing on the headliner, and then he looks at it under a microscope, under an electron beam, to look for microscopic particles, of which there are many emitted from a gun when it is fired. A plume of them are emitted from the gun when it is fired. And he looked under that electron microscope, and his results were negative. And what does negative mean? Negative doesn't mean, oh, it's under some threshold, under 5 per cubic foot or anything like that. Negative means zero. Zero particles collected off that headliner.
Really good evidence for the defense there.
16 seconds after Mr. Stillwell has been long gone. 18 seconds after Mr. Stillwell leaves, we're going to see A fifth.
Oh, hold on.
Make an unexplained U-turn. 30 seconds.
Hold on. Let me show y'all this screen right quick. Because they getting they talk on. Bro just said it. My ass ain't have it put on the right goddamn screen. Let me show y'all this one right quick.
Don't use dictionaries or any other kind of reference materials, including online reference materials to help you in this case. Don't use Google or any other internet search engine. Don't consult websites, blogs, podcasts, any kind of social
they
media
probably done
apps,
with the
including
verdict
but
for
not
today.
limited
Probably
to various grouping of social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Reddit. I mean, anything like that. Don't use any of these sources of information or anything else to get information about legal terms or concepts or about the law. Don't watch, read, or listen to any accounts of this trial that might appear in the news media, whether online, in print, television, radio, or otherwise, including in any kind of a social media. In short, do not seek information about this case, including hypothetical questions from any source
Everything
outside
she
the
telling them not
confines
to do,
of
they
what
still
the
don't.
evidence is that is have been admitted in this trial. Remember that you are the only ones who have been qualified as fair and impartial jurors to decide this case. No other influence should affect your decision. And it is because of that that you should not and cannot discuss this case with anybody else, including your family and friends, or let anybody discuss the case or anybody involved in the case with you or around you. That includes discussing or sharing information in person, by phone, by email, text, blog, any kind of social media. If anybody does approach you about the case, or if you happen to hear somebody talking about the case, you need to let one of the deputies or court staff know that immediately.
I don't know who the fuck.
Please remember, you should continue
They're not finna let
to
nobody
consider
know
the
about
evidence
it.
as you all deliberate with an open mind. And leave your, as you have this whole time, leave your notes or notepads with you in the jury room each night. And in the morning, I won't necessarily see y'all unless you have a question or need to see some evidence. So just begin your deliberations after you're all there. All right, y'all have a pleasant evening. Thank you.
That's some bullshit, bro. 2 days, so they're gonna have to do this. Still be deliberating tomorrow about this motherfucking shit. That's crazy as hell, bro. I ain't figure it was gonna take this long, bro. So that means they definitely finna probably get found guilty of the RICO shit. The other shit they might throw out.
All right, we're adjourned for the day, and we will just
Damn,
remain in recess
they done
until we hear
changed their
from the
clothes.
jury
Oh no, this was a
again
different day.
whenever
Now
that
they got
next
on
might
all
be.
black. Now they both. Why
And
is these?
if we don't hear from them at all,
Come on, y'all. Why is Love and Hilton all of a sudden dressing in the same fucking colors? Yesterday they had on all red like they was motherfucking Suge's Knights, fucking the princesses or some motherfucking shit. Now they both got on all black. Like now they covered. Let's see what they got on tomorrow, y'all. Let's see what they got on tomorrow. Cause tomorrow I'm gonna be back on here with this shit.
tomorrow, I've told them they can
I might
leave
not
it
even
free
finish
since
that
it's the day
cuff
before
video because
Thanksgiving.
I was only just
We
earning
have
time.
Thursday and Friday off.
Yeah,
So
we can stay there for
Monday will be the
it's
next time.
crazy. Now I'm kind of
So
worried.
if
I'm
I
kind of
don't have
worried
reason to
because
see
the
any of
jurors
you all tomorrow, everybody have a
ain't
pleasant
come to
Thanksgiving.
a conclusion.
Thank you.
Damn, man, and that's it, man. That's BS. That's BS, man. I ain't think the jury is gonna take that long. I don't even want to show the rest of the Cuff Boy video because hey y'all, that shit got like 58 minutes left type shit. I'm trying to play the P5 and shit. Goddamn. I want to show y'all this Woody music video right quick. I want to show y'all this music video. I probably might show y'all the video without the audio on that motherfucker shit. Or just show y'all the screenshot. Cause I'm telling y'all, man, Woody and them killed Donovan. I'm gonna just show y'all this little part before I end this shit. I'm gonna show y'all this little part. Cause these motherfuckers ain't really do no investigation. Cause if they did, they would have seen Woody the one. I ain't gonna play the music volume because I don't want them motherfuckers being on no bullshit. I'm gonna show y'all the little video part. Look, this Woody. Look, this nut. This supposed to be nut. That's supposed to be nut right there. Look at this shit. Y'all see Woody? Look, money on his head. Money on his head. Look at what he pulled. Look at what he pulled the money out. Look. Boom, look, what he told them. He said, y'all take care of him. He said, y'all take care of him. Look, boom. This dude supposed to be Donovan Nut Thomas. Come on, bro. Come on. Look at the name of the video. Lil Woody Homicide. Come on, man. Come on, man. What the fuck? Some other nigga video start playing in the background. But come on, man. I'm gonna make another one of these and have it up tomorrow. Waiting for the jury and shit to do their deliberation. So I'm about to close this one out because I've been on this motherfucker for 2 hours. But I'm gonna make another one tomorrow in the morning and shit and be watching that shit live and shit. So good looking on y'all for watching this shit, man. I'm gonna have another one tomorrow. So make sure y'all come to that motherfucker. I'm still saying not guilty on them boys, man. They might as well let them go. They probably guilty of the RICO shit. But all that other bullshit, they probably ain't guilty of none of that shit, man. But I'm finna get up out of here, man.